Do you have any idea what the rent on a place like
Interwebs.
this in the middle of nowhere costs? It's outrageous.
Interwebs. It's the closer. I forgot
Housekeeping.
you had one button to start now. You used to have to hit the second button when we were doing Hangouts because it would tell you the Hangouts is about to end.
Why is there a duck in here? Get that duck out of the
And
phone.
I think don't poke the duck. All right.
Gizzard's rubbing my duck.
All right. The last time somebody poked a duck, we had PETA on our ass for a month.
Housekeeping.
Every time we go live, Gizzard's always trying to grab my duck.
Well, it is a fluffy duck.
Yeah, you know.
Midnight, put that thing away. Get that thing away from my gun tube patch. What are you doing?
Is he? Looks like he's trying to lick it.
The gun snubs.
See, this is what happens when you don't have proper flavors on your candy. It's just, oh, it's red. Red's a flavor now. Wow, we killed it already?
What's that way?
Midnight Frozen?
Some big ass goofy grin staring at us just out of the void. Everybody make that face real quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are in control. We control the sight, the sound, the picture. You have entered the Midnight Zone.
Where did you go?
Hold on, internet wonky. Can you guys see us? I don't know, we got a shitty... Oops.
Oh, there we go.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Jonases of all ages, thank you for watching Midnight Range TM's The
Things
Closer.
just got interesting.
Oh, wait, this won't kick us without him in here, will it?
No.
Okay, hey. We're having some really gnarly thunderstorms here, so I don't know if I don't know if that has to do with it or what.
Well, it's very simple, Midnight. You take the laptop out onto your roof with a nice big piece of metal rod and you use it to scare away the lightning.
Mm-hmm.
It's and you get your big cable, so you can get your 1.2 gigawatts.
1.2 gigawatts.
1.21.
And they don't fit.
Noob.
They don't quite fit together, huh?
I had somebody offer me a gigawatt once. I refused.
We're back for now. We'll see what happens. All right.
What in the world? The Scotch
Okay,
Snob. That's a new
Scotch Snob. Mm-hmm. That is, I bet that's mad sexy. I bet you a fat $5 that's mad sexy.
I'm not taking that back because that's Mad Sexy's avatar.
Oh, is it?
Yes, at least it's got Diane Feinstein.
I think that's his, yeah.
Worsow's all blue and what have you.
He says, "I'm a mod."
Yeah, he'll let just about anybody be a mod nowadays. For
no,
$20 is $20.
I think that was so he could throw a link in that one channel. Yeah. Sorry, buddy. We're gonna swipe your wrench away.
No.
Sorry.
But if you pay
saying, what the hell? Was that the hell?
Please keep me a mod. No.
He says, damn you. Hey, you gotta pay the $20 like all of us, or give a reprint. Yep, gotta pay to play. It's like gun gals, you got to pay to play. All right. Boy, my hand keeps falling asleep. I'm having a hard time here.
Well, maybe you don't sit on it.
Snob, no, I could not get your package because the post office is closed on Sundays.
Who the hell would want a package?
I know, it's so... Well, are you sure it just didn't, blow away in the wind? I mean, it probably would have fit in a regular envelope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be. Let's see.
Uh-oh.
Theory.
I think Warsaw's going full kinky sphincter.
Uh-oh, what?
It's all about her that you took away his precious wrench.
All right, let's see who's out there.
I'm out there.
Local 223, Obnoxious, Fine 8, C4, Snob's Wife, Pfeiffer, Kingpin, me, Gun Snob, Poor Conservative,
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
I'll get
Shots
there
fired.
eventually, whatever it is. I'll get there eventually. Seven Wonders, Glimtack, the Scotch Snob. Hello, mad sexy, sneaky, sexy.
I thought Warsaw had a wrench.
He did,
He
but
did
we
have a
just
wrench till
de-wrenched
about
him.
a
He
minute
did.
ago.
He got de-wrenched.
Yeah,
Oh,
de-wrenched. It
and
was only meant to be a temporary wrench of power.
Yeah,
And then he immediately got bumped.
yeah.
By
Oh
Kinky.
man, he got timed out. Oh, Kinky. Kinky,
Oh,
don't.
no. Oh,
Be
Kinky,
nice,
come on.
Kinky. Be nice.
Remember the same thing. The same entity that took away the temporary wrench can take away your wrench. Then
Yeah,
you'll have
that's
something
right.
to really bitch about instead of just being Mr. Second or third of the funniest names on the chats.
Oh shit, he brought that up. Now he's gonna be real sour.
Plus, Kinky not short of aliases either, so.
Yeah. Pfeiffer's out there, Ozzy's out there. What's going on, buddy? Oh, I need to do something. I need to do something about my hand. Holy shit. Patriot, Walter Davis, how you doing? Armament and Axis, the Dehydrator. What's going on? They were talking about you in some commercial I saw the other day. They were talking about the Dehydrator. Like Gander Mountain or something. I was like, holy shit, they're selling Armament and Axis there? Axi? Armament and Axi? Yeah. Calaveras, the Tactical Pickle. Okay. Well, who we got in here? Sarge, what's going on? How was the vacation, buddy?
It was good. We got back yesterday or last night, and had a good time. Got to do some fun things. Got to go to the Yankees game. Got to stop by a really cool place on the way up there. Get some good late lunch, early dinner, and had a blast.
Cool. Very cool. Gizzard, how was your vacation?
Vacation.
Yeah, I'm just assuming you're on vacation. I don't really know.
Oh, I worked.
Sarge is on vacation.
I
Sarge
worked
is on vacation. You were on vacation, probably.
No, not till Labor Day week. Then I got another week off.
Oh, you gotta wait that. Gotta wait that whole long time.
It's gonna suck, man.
That is. What's George gonna do with you?
I have no idea.
What is? I wonder what you gotta set up. What do you gotta do one of these times when you go to work? Is set up a live stream so we can see what the hell George does around the house while you're gone.
You don't want to know. I don't want to.
Probably partying, inviting all sorts of critters over to the house.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, my freaking garden kitties just invited in a mama raccoon with a baby. So
Oh,
yeah, you just can't trust them.
Hell yeah.
don't
Do you
get
get against
Fish-
raccoons?
Mandolins
Some
is
kind of
out there.
racist?
Yeah, that's raccoonist.
It's raccoonist. There you go.
Speciesists.
Obnoxious. What's happening?
Nothing.
Nothing. No stuff. No things. No things to stuff. No stuff to
No,
things.
I'm on vacation. Don't ask me questions.
You're always on vacation.
Well, I thought that was just code word for not gainfully employed.
Shush. You.
The veal gun snob is out there. Hello.
That's funny.
Hello.
That's hilarious.
That right there is funny. If you can't laugh at that, there's something wrong with you.
Right?
You have sense and sanity.
Budget says his cat has been awesome. He's been laying waste to any mouse that has been driven inside by all the rain we had. Yeah, that's a big problem when it rains. Is you start seeing them in some of these older buildings, especially. We were just talking about that today. My son was pretending to be a cat, and he picked up a pretend mouse and ate him. I was like, we used to have a cat that did that. He would eat him. He wouldn't just catch him; he'd eat him. It was gross. He'd catch one, and you hear crunch, crunch, crunch. You'd be like, ugh.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
I hate
with your
to tell ya.
mouth closed.
My nursery / garden kitties, yeah, they do that to squirrels every once in a while. We'll drag them up the driveway, take them under my truck, and all of a sudden here.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, at least they put them out of their misery quick. That's better than, torturing them for a couple hours. And they eat them. I mean, they do. They eat everything except pretty much the tail, and those are trophies. There are several tails floating around here in the garage and in the driveway and on the porch.
Seven Wonders got a lot of Seven Wonders is just up to his neck and tail.
Got tail floating all over the place out there.
Big bushy tail.
I know
Seven,
nothing.
Crazy cat lady.
Most of what I was. All right, Snob. Yeah, you're right. No, I don't have 35 cats.
He has
I'm not gonna
130.
say I'm
He can't get it right.
That'd be
Five.
nuts.
He says 7 is the crazy cat lady. All right, yeah, I like cats. And for what I've been up to for most of the weekend is classified, so I'm just happy to be here.
Uh-oh.
You spent a night in the DWE tank again?
It's a need
I
It's
know
on a need to
nothing.
know basis.
Well, how are you knowing nothing different from any other day of the week?
Of course, I knew if somebody had to come up with it, it would be you.
Of course, I'm the resident smartass. And discount John Z.
All right. Well, I'm just happy to be here.
Very cool. Ape, what's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just sitting here, getting around to cleaning my guns from shooting the 3-gun match again this weekend.
Oh, cool. How'd you do?
First 2 runs
That
were
good,
pretty
huh?
good, but then I got it. Echo. Probably about 10 seconds slower my last 2 times, but last time, instead of using my regular full-sized AR, I decided I'd try my little folding 300 blackout. So, I don't know. It was fun. Got my exercise for the week.
That's cool. Let's. I'm gonna drop 2 people out, and we got 2 in the back here. Let's say hello to. You got Glimtech. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, not much. I didn't see you didn't have to drop anybody out for me.
Well, that's okay. We can switch people around if need be. You know,
Nothing much.
what's going on?
Yep. Same old, same old.
Uh-huh.
He shot his 3-gun and I shot my 2-gun today. So,
Oh, cool.
but other than that, work.
What are you shooting 2-gun?
Today was the SIG P226, and I shot the 300 blackout today. I'm trying to think of what I was shooting today.
Is the black? Can you shoot now? When you shoot 2-gun, does caliber matter? With the AR, could you shoot whatever caliber you want?
It's an open class. You can shoot whatever you want.
And do you guys shoot 300 because it's got more knockdown power, like for steel targets and stuff, or just because you wanted to?
Mine with my 300 is a little bit. My 300 is set up a little bit more accurately than the 223, and that's just because of the optic I run on it. So, but other than that, usually I just run a red dot. And the 300 is what I grabbed this morning. I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm shooting this.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually I just shoot the regular AR.
And we lost Patriot. And I was just gonna say, how you doing, Patriot? And he dipped out. Man, StreamYard does not like blind people. Their site is for show. All right, we'll see what happens. All right, so what's going on, everybody? Anything new and unusual? Anything? I didn't really get the chance to do anything today. As far as I started to look up some articles and stuff, but a long day. Got up and took the little dude to a gun show and let the wife sleep in a little bit. Came home and took a nap myself. Fell asleep on the couch while they were playing around. And then I don't know, just had a night of playing around with him and then dinner and stuff like that. So didn't really do a whole lot today. I started to try and look up some news articles and stuff like that, but didn't really get far before too late. Oh, look at that.
Were you trying to play Rainbow Six there or something, or what?
Taste the rainbow.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
Skittles gun.
Nah, it's more like a lifesavers gun.
That's the wrong one.
Oh, I see how it is now.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
There you go.
Now, did Snob go through the extra effort of inscribing on the inside the dust cover taste the rainbow?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
You lazy fuck, Snob.
Didn't put a damn thing on there. Look at that. Look at that. Not a thing.
You should just write it on there in Sharpie.
Nah, crayon. See if you can get like a grease crayon or something like that and taste the rainbow.
That is hideous.
Oh,
So where did he do the red dot for you too?
No, I got the red dot and the charging handle in Wanamaker. In
You
April.
bought that thing and you bought that blue?
Yes.
purple.
Jesus Christ.
Blue or is it purple?
And
or is
the
it
the red charging handle.
Yeah, the red charging handle I can see. Now, whoever you
You
bought that
can
red
see
dot
the red
from-
charging handle, but the blue red dot is a step too far. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Blue
'Cause
red
when
dot
you-
is kind of redundant.
Because I see like red charging handles, red grips, that kind of stuff looks cool. Now I guarantee you, whoever the hell you bought that red dot from probably went home and they're like, "You owe me $20. I told you I could sell some asshole a blue red dot.
Hey,
I told you somebody would buy it."
putting a coating of color is an instant way to get a 50% markup on the profit.
Mm.
Because it's blue or it's red. It goes faster. It's cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Is that a wild barrel
Your
you have in
bird
there?
cage is upside down.
Wait,
It is.
it is
Yes,
It's open on the
yes.
bottom and
The bird
It is
cage
on
is
the
upside
top.
down.
Holy shit! It is upside down. Oh my god!
I saw that and I was thinking, now wait a minute, is he going for some type of total derp thing with the rest of the paint, with the gun and the paint job?
Jesus Christ! Good job, Snob.
Way to go, Snob. Well,
Way to
wait,
go.
now,
Hey,
now,
hey,
now,
you know what we should do? You know what we should do? Add more recoil to this gun.
Mm-hmm.
Add
Well,
more.
now
like I say, if he
it's-
shoots to the left or something, just cock it that way till it pushes it back to the right.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, in Snob's defense, he didn't completely understand the directions of Obnoxious, whether he wanted it painted or not, so he didn't do it at the same time he did the rest. So it might have been a bit of a rush job, or he might have just wanted to get his high point and that beautiful taste the rainbow.
Warsaw said I would refuse to own that. I wouldn't. I think it's cool.
Is that a wow? Is that a 223 wild barrel you got on there?
I believe it is.
Usually the chrome ones are like that.
Yep. That's 223 wild.
There you go.
I had to come in and defend myself.
Well,
I think I
see.
just hand screwed it on there. I don't even think it's tight.
So it's not even tight, huh? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but your wrists are weak.
That's true. That's true.
Heaven forbid you tighten the thing, huh?
If I'd have thought about it, I would have made sure it was upside down on purpose.
Didn't even paint the crush washer.
Oh, wine.
It's a good thing we noticed that, or you'd been at the range. Next thing you know, you'd have seen that big chunk of Skittle flying down the range.
How long is that cord for your headphones?
It's got to be 30 feet. Look at it.
Mine's like 3 feet.
He's got like 3 of them tacked together.
I use wireless, so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Why is the lower not put on it yet?
Because I haven't put the lower together yet.
You are lazy.
It's still being Cerakoted.
I like that purple hand grip though. That I do like. Could do without the pink, but the purple looks good.
Well, you can't make an absolutely terrible looking AR if you don't have the pink stock for it.
Mm-hmm. There he goes. He's gonna run up the steps, go get himself a soda, and come back, and still not have to unplug those headphones.
He's got one of those shop reels. It reels up. He pulls it. It goes in.
And an orange
There
bag.
you go.
There you go.
Gotta get out of the orange bag.
He wants to make sure no one can talk about him behind his back.
There you go.
Nope.
Actually, if you look right on the bottom right of that in that safe, there's a whole coiled up another 100 feet of headphone cable there. You just plug it in. He can go next door. He can go to the store. He can actually talk to us. He can go get some gas. Go to the convenience store. Stay plugged in.
You forget I live out in the country.
He pulls it and it releases up.
It's like a zip line.
You need some more stickers on that safe. You got some empty spots there.
Yeah, you be careful with that thing. You might Epstein yourself. Maybe that's how he did it. He was listening to
Aren't you glad it's not the closer? And
That's right. Pfeiffer says, "Is that a blue buffer tube?"
yes.
So ask Gary what he did all day today.
Well, I know Gary did his show today.
I did.
What else? What happened? Something amazing happened? Why is he bringing it up?
Am I even here?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Oh, there I am. Okay. I saw this gun tube on the screen there.
Mm.
Oh, Mr. Snob talked me into doing a trigger job by myself on my PT-111 today.
Oh yeah.
Well, I had the stuff because I got it from Galloway Precision, and I told him, I said, I don't think I can do this. And he said, you can do it. He said, if you screw anything up too bad, I can fix it for you. So I watched a couple of videos on it, struggled for about 2.5 hours, cursed a few times, mind you, but I got her done.
So is the trigger better?
Yeah, I think so. It's different. I mean,
Nice and smooth.
yeah, it's smooth.
Did it take out the fact that they break so far back?
I mean, it still breaks pretty far back, but it's not much travel getting there. Because it stages quite a bit further back than it did.
What was that for? Your PT-92? You said
PT-111
Oh.
G2.
Mm.
It was a trigger that would have fit that or my G2S. I decided if I was going to break either one of the two guns, it'd be the oldest one of the two.
Yeah.
But I might get one for the other one now because, yeah, it was hard, but it's an improvement.
And you're a pro now.
I'm a pro now, yeah. That's what Snob says anyway.
Local 223 wants to see the trigger job. And he says, please ask Gary to finger his trigger on camera.
Just make sure it's unloaded.
Yeah, do us a favor.
What, you don't want to do a screen pop?
No thanks.
Ooh, George.
Sarge, I wanted to ask you while I have you here. Your department requirements for qualification, once a year, twice a year?
Technically, once a year, I have to qualify 4 times a year.
Okay.
I think for the agency, it's 80% accuracy, and I have to shoot 92 or better.
Okay.
I typically shoot better than that, but just to say,
Yeah, I had to do one of those today.
I'm not a big fan of the one time a year. I think it should be at least twice, but then again, there's a difference between training and qualifying. So sometimes they try to slip in qualifying and say, no, it's range time. Well, it is, but it isn't.
Yeah, no,
That's like saying
that's
a
not
test.
training.
It's like saying a test teaches you the material. No, you learn the material prior to. So
Yeah,
we don't know nearly enough.
did a Leo qual today too. That was interesting. A couple of them, all I got to say is you don't have to worry about getting shot by them. That's for sure. Whew, that was bad.
I shot the new 365 XL today.
How'd you like that?
I want one. Worse than the 365. I wanted the 365, but I really like the XL.
Why?
Good.
Why do you want it so
It's
bad?
basically the same size as the 365 when you have the 12 round mag in. It's pretty much the same size.
Would you want it to carry or no?
Yeah, I'd carry it if I had it. It'd be the perfect carry gun, I think.
So it's just like the Glock 48.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. I'd like to have
Just a long 43.
Glock 48 or 43X.
Yeah,
So that has a longer barrel too, right?
Yeah, a little bit. It's not much difference, really. It's surprisingly close in the same size. It's just you could pocket carry the 365 if you really wanted to. I don't think you could really want to pocket carry the XL at all.
Mm.
I mean, unless you have big pockets.
just put it in your back pocket like you do and sit on it.
Works fine for me.
I'm not joking.
Seems like a bad idea.
Nah, it's in a holster.
It's horrible for your back. It kind of hurt like hell, right?
Well, you got to be fat like me, and then you don't notice it.
Oh, it just sort of sinks in.
Yeah, it all depends on barrel placement if you're going to put it back there.
Exactly. It also shot a $10,000 shotgun.
Who makes that?
Blosser.
You know what? I was just gonna say, was it a Blazer?
No, it's Blosser.
Is that how it's pronounced, Blosser?
Yes, that's what the rep told me. It's Blosser.
Oh, okay.
Braden, my son, shot a Beretta that was starting price was $11,000. He didn't say what that one actually was.
Why?
Good Lord, hand fit, custom made.
Mm-hmm.
Was it made out of unobtainium or something? Or
Italian quality, buddy.
I've seen some of those. What do you call them? I always thought it was. I thought it was Blazer, but if it's Blosser, I used to look those up just because they were. Some of them were so like awesome looking. A lot of them are breakdowns. A lot of them have like interchangeable barrels and stuff like that. Like you can change stuff on them. But I've seen a bunch of them that are like straight pulls too. Almost like some of their rifles. They do some rifles too, I think, right?
Yeah, he said their rifles are like a straight pull bolt action. He was telling us all about it.
Yeah,
but
yeah, they're pretty crazy looking.
Yeah, this shotgun that we shot is not interchangeable barrels because this one is everything is hand fit on it. Now the lower line that's only $4,500. Those you can buy 20 gauge, 28 gauge, or 12 gauge barrels and interchange them with the receiver. But it has like removable weights and you can slide the weight up and down on the barrel underneath the handguard. It's pretty impressive. But I still only got 7 out of 10 skeet with it, so I just didn't buy it. I was going to buy it if I got all 10, but you know.
Right. I'm going to pull up some of those here. We'll pull up and look at some of these bad boys.
Bad boys.
I mean, while I think it would be neat to have a shotgun like that, I couldn't imagine spending that kind of money on it, even if I had money like that to spend. Right? Even if I had obnoxious money.
Yeah, right.
You just got to think, when is it worth it?
I mean, it's money if you got money, it's one of those money to burn things, you know?
Yeah, and a lot of the people that shoot skeet have money to burn. Yeah, I mean, truthfully, these old men that they do it because they're doctors and lawyers, and that's what they do on Tuesdays when they golf on Mondays.
Yeah. I think some of the older ones are ones that tended to have a lot. They're the ones that I used to like to look at. I think were more ones that were one-offs. People were having custom work done to them and custom scrolling and inlaying and gold leaf and stuff, all sorts of crazy stuff done to them. Share screen here.
I know the F3 was the one that I think he said was like $4,500. I'd never even heard of the company before. Of course, I'm poor, so I wouldn't have.
Yeah, I sort of ran across them a couple years ago. More than a couple years ago now, I guess. But okay, can you guys see it?
It's a bear.
I have to unmute to see it. But
Yeah.
yes.
You have to unmute to see it? What the hell? Why would you?
If you're muted, it has on mobile. It has a big old giant. Your microphone is muted across the thing.
So, yeah, let's take a look here. Let's see what we got.
F3 is the one that's like $4,500. It's interchangeable. This was an F8 or something that we were shooting. I don't remember.
Well, there's an R8. That's a bold action.
This was an F.
F90, K98, F16, F3.
F16, that's what it was. F16, that's what it was. I remember that now.
Oh, the new shotgun class. Passionate about perfection. Configurator. Oh, here. I just want to see some pictures. It's got an innovative monocoque construction. That's important. Inertial block. Let's see here. I'm trying to find out. Trying to find some pictures here. Wood grade, different wood grades. Ooh, look at this. It's pretty.
That is nice.
12 gauge in this one. So, let's go to Heritage. Let's see what Heritage is probably the most expensive. Let's see what we got here.
This one had a taller rib on it, and it also had an adjustable comb stock, I think. Or maybe one of them had an adjustable comb stock. I think it was this one we shot. I don't know. I have to go back and look at the video of shooting it.
I want to see just some examples of stuff. Instagram. We should have just should just go to Instagram. Let's see what happens if we go to Instagram. Am I still probably? It's probably not.
Yeah, it's still on the Blosser page.
Okay. Their Instagram's kind of crappy too. It's just like generic pictures of people holding guns. Bummer.
Oh, crappy as mine. Good lord.
Yeah, right. Well, they got single shot rifles, over and under. Cool. I don't know. I suggest you don't go to their website to look at cool guns. Go to Google it and hit image searches or something. Ohio 45 says, I believe the new Beretta SL3 starts at 20 grand. That's it? Psh, chump change.
I don't remember what the model Braden shot of the Beretta was. I didn't shoot it. It was too expensive. It was above my pay grade to even shoot it. But he said it was starting at 11 grand without any custom scroll work or anything.
Yeah.
What were those expensive ones we saw at Wanamaker?
Well, those were like the old Purdy's and what's that other one? It's 2 words. Somebody out there will know. I can't remember it off the top of my head. It's like
I saw one that was it like $89,000.
Mhm.
I was like, oh my gosh. Look right beside it. He had another one. I was like, oh my gosh.
Damn.
I don't even have the money to look at one of them.
I've seen some of the Blazers go in like the $30,000 range. It's crazy tricked out there, like crazy scroll work, like just like covered in ornamental stuff. It's nuts. If people would go over to GunTube's Indiegogo and donate, we could have more than 6 people on here. Did you guys know that?
Oh, it's a Holland & Holland, Mr. Fine Ape in the background.
H&H.
Yeah.
Yeah, H&H. H&H makes like elephant guns and shit too, I think. They make like big, like large caliber rifles.
Oh, I thought he was going to say that's the guns. Never mind. I'll leave that alone before I get a nasty email.
Roll call says there's no snacks in here.
There is in this room.
There you go.
If he would have came
So,
to
so-
World Tulsa's range day, he could have had a free hot dog or hamburger.
That's right.
Free hot dogs and hamburgers. Can't beat that. Clover's gun store does that too. They do like a barbecue or something once a month or once a week or something.
How's he making out with the Indiegogo thing?
I think he's in the mid 30%.
35
funded. 35.
Yes, sir.
It's not bad.
You can't get any more mid 30% than that.
That's true.
That's true. We only got 13 days left, though, guys.
Yeah. I think he'll get there. I think we need to start hitting up some outside content creators,
I need to tomorrow I need to jump out on the range and do a shout out video for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been meaning to do that too.
And I got to spend some money as well. Buy some stuff from him. Do my part.
Yeah, I don't. I actually added GunTube to my Patreon and then hit up the Indiegogo also. So trying to help out if I as much as I can. Gizzard put in the link for the Indiegogo GunTube gun.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like I was watching Inspector Gadget there for a minute.
Beretta SO10 $89.99. I like that. 89. That's how I'll say it, so it doesn't sound so bad. $89.99. Available at Bass Pro Shop.
Damn near 90,000.
Yep. Cabela's is like that too. When you get into their gun, what do they call it? Their gun library.
Mm-hmm.
There's some. If you go online and look in the gun library online, holy smokes! Budget added them to Patreon and hit up the Indiegogo too. Good man.
Yeah, boy.
Anybody have 90,000 I can borrow to buy this with?
90,000 what? Dollars? No, I don't have 90,000.
Although the Beretta rep is sending some stuff home with me this week, supposedly. I don't know what. Probably one of these high-dollar shotguns, I imagine. I mean, I couldn't imagine not sending a $90,000 shotgun home with me.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a given. But, I mean, at this point, I'm sure they're probably fighting over which one to give you.
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned with.
Hopefully they don't send over some like crappy $5,000 or $6,000 shotgun.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm sure you'd take it just to be nice. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want
I'd
to be
chill it a little, but it's not getting a full shilling.
Half shilling.
Who's
You don't want to
shilling?
be rude. You don't want to be rude.
I'm just gonna say, if they send me home with a $90,000 shotgun, they probably won't see me, and nor will you all see me again.
you'd be on the lam with an expensive shotgun. Somebody was
pawn
talking
shop
about
with
Walmart up there. I saw an article about Walmart that they're testing. They're doing it in a couple of their stores. I don't know which ones. That their Walmart Wi-Fi is blocking websites that have gun content.
How is that
Anything
going
with
to do anything?
I don't know. It beats me.
Is the next shooter going to have to go in there and like Google how to do this, how to work the gun
Yeah.
while on site?
Well, and what I was thinking was Walmart website has gun stuff on it.
Yeah, they have a gun section.
You know what I mean? So, like, you go in there and so you wouldn't be able to pull up. They're going to block their own website off of their Wi-Fi.
Maybe they're just doing this for smartness of people, Googling prices and stuff, and they're just, you'll just buy it from them no matter what. Now they're going to raise up the prices on the firearms.
I mean,
Not that they're anti-gun,
if you can,
pro
whatever gun you're buying at Walmart is already pretty goddamn cheap. They don't carry a whole lot of stuff, and what they do carry is pretty inexpensive. I can't imagine people going into Walmart to nickel and dime to save $5 to get it somewhere else.
I mean, my Walmart has some Beretta shotguns that are $90,000. Maybe y'all just live in the poor part of town.
As I say, our Walmart up here out in the boondocks, they actually run Henrys up here. They're actually running Henry lever actions in 45, 357, and 22, which is something new for them. They just started doing that.
Walmart.
So,
sucks.
So what are their prices like? I don't think it has any. I mean, do you really imagine it has anything to do with price checking or I can't imagine that's what it would be.
Well, the Walmart up here is averaging anywhere from $25 to about $40 cheaper than just about anywhere else for their Henrys.
Yeah,
it's nothing really astronomical, but if you're in the market for it, you're going to pick you're going to pick up a Henry lever action and 45 government or 357 for right around the 780, 775, 780 mark.
Walter Davis says the cheap guns are real cheap. The better guns are priced a little high. I don't know. We don't have any. The Walmart I generally go to doesn't have guns. One of the other ones in the area does. But I don't go over there very often. At least they did last time I was there. Local 223 buys motor oil at Wally World, so he's okay. He'll be all right. He's like a motor oil FUD. As long as he can get his motor oil, he doesn't care what they do about guns.
Old
FUD.
I'm just hoping they don't block Fig Newton websites at Walmart. That's all I'm worried about.
Yeah, that's trouble. Ozark says, anyone know a 9mm revolver that doesn't have crimp issues? What do you mean crimp?
Get with 7.
Crimp issue?
What does he mean by crimp issues?
Yeah, you got to classify crimp issues.
Walter Davis says, I tried to buy a gun from Walmart for the kids. It was impossible. Went across the street to a gun shop and walked out 10 minutes later with a 22.
Just couldn't pull it off.
They just couldn't make it happen.
That's
sometimes the store just completely goes against itself, and you cannot.
Done. I mean, unless it's one of those dumb things where they thought that was a straw purchase. You know what I mean? Like some employee there was like, "You can't buy a gun for somebody else. That's crazy."
Well, see, here in Arizona,
some do-gooder.
If you have your permit, you're exempt from the background checks unless you go to Walmart. Walmart, it doesn't matter. You got to get a background check done, and if you get delayed for any reason, It's an automatic no sale. They won't sell you a gun.
Mhm.
Wow.
What is this random siren I'm hearing?
Oh, that's me. That's behind. That's outside.
Oh.
It's an ambulance. Sounds like an ambulance. Armament. No, Ozark says, yeah, it loosens the casing around the bullet. Well, I would imagine they're not. Well, I guess when you think about it, that's why revolver rounds are double crimped. They crimp. Sometimes they crimp around the case mouth, and they're crimped then halfway down. The shock on the shock that happens to a bullet when you shoot in a revolver is a lot worse than it is in a semi-auto, because in a semi-auto they're in the magazine, they have room to move around. They they can vibrate a little bit and they can move around. So, but in a revolver they're stuck. They're not able to shift or move. So whatever energy that goes into them would, I mean, I could see that being an issue. I guess never really thought about it.
Well, then the other thing is he using moon clips or is he going straight in?
Doesn't really matter because either one's going to hold it firm. It's going to hold it tight.
As I say, the moon clips on mine don't. They actually
Oh,
move.
really?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Ape is screaming,
I
let me in so I can explain. Screaming is what he's doing.
All right. Wait, who? Obnoxious?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey.
No, go ahead, Go ahead, bounce me up. Get Ape in. That's fine.
No, Obnoxious is already in there. Who wants in here?
Ape.
Ape does.
He's
Who's
screaming,
Ape? Ape who?
let me in.
Ape Man.
I don't see. Oh, all right. Go ahead.
What's can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Go ahead. When you're done with your banana, go ahead.
Well, if you let me out from underneath the desk.
Well, hey, whoa. Whew, hey now.
Wow.
What
I
are you
didn't say
doing with the
your
banana on the
desk. I said the desk.
Oh,
You might now together. Yeah. Yes, the issue with using auto rounds in a revolver is since the automatic or the regular pistol rounds headspace on the cartridge mouth, they can't have a nice heavy roll crimp like revolver rounds do. Beto, beto, beto. So honestly, that's just something you're going to have to live with. Otherwise, I know. I think the Hornady, like critical duty, critical defense stuff, they have a pretty heavy taper crimp on them. Plus, they usually have a cantilever. So sometimes that helps because the case mouth has something to kind of grip onto, but I think that's mostly for jacket separation.
That's true. If you used a cantilever bullet, you could get that crimp down in there a little bit better, probably.
Yeah. And yeah, it's not that it's rattling around, it's the simple fact that the gun's recoiling backwards and the bullets are wanting to stay where they're at. It takes more energy for them to go back, so it will kind of pull them out. Otherwise, I don't know if it's still up. If you can find the old Boberg site, they had a list of ammunition that worked in that, because that was the one where it would grab the back of the case, pull it out, and
Yeah.
then push it in. So I think anything that could survive that wrap or that big of a pullback and up should be able to work well in a 9mm revolver.
So even in a revolver with moon clips, it still goes off of the case mouth.
Yeah, that's how they had space. The only thing the moon clips are doing is making it so that you can eject all of them without having to take a pointy plastic pokey and poke each case out. Now
I've never done anything with moon clips.
the only thing I've seen different for rimless rounds like 9mm, I think that Charter Arms a couple years ago made them so you had like a special ejector star that held onto the actual rim of the case, so you didn't need moon clips. But no, if I can get this one untangled here, all these are doing is just holding rounds in.
Mm.
They still headspace off the rim.
I didn't realize that. I actually, like I said, I don't own a revolver, but I sure as hell don't own one with moon clips. I know.
Like now.
I thought the moon clips actually held onto the rim because they're rimless, you know?
No, well, they're holding on to it so your ejector star has something to push up against and eject them
Right,
out.
but I thought that's what actually held the bullets in the cylinder. You know what I mean?
You know what? Hold on or talk amongst yourselves. I've got a Ruger Blackhawk that has a 45 auto cylinder and a 45 Colt cylinder, so I should be able to kind of demonstrate this. So keep talking amongst yourselves. And hands off my banana bread.
Beat it. Ooh, banana bread.
Say,
What does banana bread do?
Banana bread.
It makes the beast sleep.
Gizzard's got his metal chicken.
Gary, did you just show your cock on the screen?
I heard somebody say Black Hawk a second ago, so I got one.
There you go.
That is a big black cock. I'm just saying.
That's right.
Easy.
7-1 says, okay, supposedly I heard that Smith & Wesson is making a TRR 8 and 9mm. Can anyone confirm? I feel like I did hear somebody talking about that recently.
They're making
We confirmed that the other night that it's not confirmed.
It was on Snob Show last night, and we weren't able to confirm it.
Okay.
So it is
So everybody that couldn't confirm it last night is here tonight and still can't confirm it.
Still unconfirmable.
So we're getting nowhere.
Well, we're one day closer to confirming it, maybe.
Oh, I did hear from the Century Arms rep that Canik is going to be introducing a 3-inch version of their pistol now. Of their line of pistols.
Is that a subcompact?
Well, it'll probably be a compact or something, or maybe sub, I guess.
3 would be sub.
I'll tell you what. Yeah. I fell in love with the Canics after shooting them. So Corey went with me today, and I got him to shoot a Canik. And he's like, yeah, this is 100 times better than a Glock. I was like, I told you, for the money, they're
blasphemy.
100 times worth more than a Glock.
Blasphemy.
I guess
what's this about Glock mashing now?
And yeah.
All right.
Good God, clean your desk, son.
Well, how about you come over here and make me? I mean, your wife's already threatening to send you over here with a cat so I can get rid of my mice.
What the hell? That's odd.
Well, she wants the cat back, but she doesn't want Snob back, so I figured that was my rental fee for using the cat. Okay. So here's the 45 Colt. See, it just headspaces off the... There we go, thank you. Just headspaces off the rim of the cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the 45 auto cylinder. Now, if I can get this to focus. Come on, focus. You know you want to.
Hocus Focus.
Yeah, just bang it into the
camera on the cylinder.
Go the other way. Go further away.
There
you go.
All right, now you can kind of see there's a space between the where your extractor rim would be in that. But if you can see,
All right, so the cylinders are actually like stepped inside.
yes, because now if I take
Okay.
the
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
all right, here's the 45 Colt cylinder.
Straight.
Yeah, or no, it's got. See, that 45 auto just falls down because it doesn't
Right.
have the rim to
Mm-hmm.
seat off of that. Whereas the 45 auto, if I put the Colt in there,
Mm-hmm.
you can see that it's just like a. You can kind of see the little steps in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't realize that. I thought they were straight, basically straight. You know what I mean? So that's why I always assumed that the moon clips actually held the cartridge where it was supposed to be, and it wasn't. And that's why I always thought, I was like, man, those things look so frail to do that. I can't believe that they don't just they don't break all the time. You know?
No, and I don't know. Some might hold them a little farther off because the thing with these is, especially in this one, if your brass is short, if whoever made it trimmed it short, or if it's just something you reloaded so many times it's shrunk down, these can actually sit too far in to where your firing pin either won't hit with enough force or won't even reach it, just because it head spaces off the mouth instead of having this, big thick rim for
So
it
does
to sit
keeping
on.
them, keeping them trimmed to a, so if you have something at minimum length, even, could it be iffy? I mean,
I don't know. I've never really checked my
yeah,
45 brass just because it's, I
45
don't know.
brass.
Yeah, it's nothing that you've ever really need to worry too much about.
He said a boot.
Well, Snob
It's a
told me
really
to clean
big
my desk, so I got me a little flustered. But Snob, all I can really say to that is, see, he's just silent. Just absolutely
By the way,
silent.
I think I've decided I'm going to buy an RMR. Benji, you talked me into it.
You need one.
Yes, you do.
Do
Get
it.
one for that Canic.
You need
I
that
love that
RMR.
gun.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same.
I like the FNX. I really do like the FNXs, the FNXs.
Yes, and that's why I have this semi-wad cutter here. I made up some test rounds to see if it would work in it. When it does, it goes boom. It's just a lot smokier.
Isn't that so? That's not a wad cutter. That's a truncated flat.
Nope, it's a semi-wad cutter.
Right.
A wad cutter would be
Totally flat.
Yeah, it'd be like kind of the end of a shotgun shell. It'd either be completely flat or they'd have like a little raised lip in the center, but it'd still have like a sharp shoulder.
Yeah,
semi-wad cutters are. Yeah, it's still got that sharp shoulder, but it's got this cone just because it needs it to feed reliably in the semi-autos.
What is the benefit of a wad cutter, and why do they call them that?
It cuts. It's a lot of guys use them. They like to use them for targets because they actually cut like perfect, crisp little holes in the targets.
Yes, they were originally developed for competition shooting back in the late 1800s or so. I'm trying to remember if it was for bullseye shooting, because the rules of bullseye was if this is your 10 ring, if the hole made from the bullet even just touched the edge of it, it counted as the higher score. So with like round nose bullets or even just regular flat points, it would tear kind of a ragged hole, and that'd be kind of iffy of, well, it ripped that far, but the actual hole that it punched is maybe over here. Whereas the wad cutters, it's just like a big paper punch. It's a nice clean hole, especially on something like cardboard or really heavy construction paper targets.
Okay.
Yep.
Good answer.
And what's crazy, it's really the first time I saw one, it was really weird. My father-in-law loads wad cutters. I actually have a couple here to load for the 38, but I never did it. They're flush mounted with the a lot of times they're flush mounted with the case. It's really weird looking. It's really weird looking.
Yeah. They're either flush mount or just like there'd just be a slight lip of lead over it, depending
Yeah.
on whatever shot best. And some of them are just solid lead through and through, and then other ones have kind of they're hollow base. So they got like a little skirt on the inside where it just kind of comes to a point, so the weight's all front, and you're using less lead. But sometimes they blow out the skirt. Sometimes they.
There's
don't.
also guys too that will take they'll take the hollow based wad cutters, and I've heard of people loading them backwards and basically almost trying to turn it into like a hollow point.
Actually, if anyone has seen the Federal Micro 38s, if I can get this box open, because Federal apparently needs to child-proof their ammo boxes. I'll hold this thing open.
Monkey proof.
I'd like to know how much Federal pays extra a year for some of their packaging for that.
Well, I mean, this is like the same box or same style box as like the fancier Hydra Shocks came in, or the.
I know, but that's got to be so expensive, you know.
Well, yeah. Well, you look at it this way: your whole expense in injection molding, it's not making the actual item; it's your molds. Oh, that's why it comes up the other way. There we go. Yeah, so basically this is what Federal did with these HST micros for the 38 is they're almost a wad cutter loading, because it's all flush below the bullet, but it's this gaping hollow point.
Yeah, so it's I will say this, I think the wad cutters I have that he gave me to load with if I wanted to I think they were 158 grain. They're heavy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are
just a chunk of lead, man.
130s. Yeah, but that's just a massive hollow point. But then again, these are made for the short barrel.
So what
snubbies.
grain is that? You said that's 90 grain.
Nope, it's 130 grain.
Oh, 130.
That's
heavier than I thought it was going to be.
Well, most of your regular wad cutters were 147 or 148s.
38 special has a whole lot of room in that case, though. They could shove that way down in there and still have room for the powder.
Yeah, I think it's probably hard to see on the camera, but just the case bulge kind of stops right here. So you're talking about like half the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen 38 loadings as light as like 3 grains of powder, and that's like almost nothing. So the 50 round LE box, yes, DT, they are not DT, Mr. Fiefer, they're cheaper, but Walmart doesn't stock the 50 round boxes of these, and they are like clearing these out for comparatively cheap. So I bought one.
I'm surprised they're that heavy.
Ozark Omen. Ozark Yeoman says it triples the cost. I used to make boxes for Federal and Winchester. Yes. Well, it's all marketing. It's look at these.
And that's you're right. I mean, if it's a matter of an extra, 50 cents or something, not a portion, but a product cost, and people see that and they're like, oh man, that must be the shit, because look at the money they're putting into the the packaging. If it helps sell it, I guess it does its job. I don't know.
Well, who was it was it Barnes or
Noble?
No, one like the hyper ammunition fasters manufacturers had like the little hologram where it was, oh, here's the bullet by itself, and then here it is opened all the way up. Here's the bullet, and then opened up. And it's it's all marketing. But let's Pfeiffer says it's also more waste going into landfills. I don't know. I mean, I kind of like some of the easier to open boxes, but then again, I reload. So for me, this is, little tray if I want to do test or just 20 rounds of a new test loading. It's right there, and it's easily or infinitely reusable. So
Yeah, I just have a couple of like the MTM, case, whatever, plastic flip tops. Those are nice. Yeah, it's cool. I forgot that they started coming out with those.
yeah, I just got a box to try just because. Oh, that's kind of a novel approach. But I will say they are plenty snappy in the little air weight.
Oh yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, they're plus.
I think I'm loading 125 grain for when we. I mean, we haven't shot the 38 in a long time, but I think I'm loading 125 because I got them super cheap from I got them at a really good price from.
I'm gonna bail. I'm going to bed.
Okay.
So,
Got anything
see
to
y'all
plug
later.
besides your Taste the
See
Rainbow
ya.
High Point?
Well, but we'll do that another time. Yeah, check out my stuff.
Only if you remember to bring the bacon grease.
Yeah, and maybe just maybe the next week or the week after we'll have some Beretta content from Italy. As Seven Wonders would try to impersonate an Italian accent.
We're going to have some Berettas from Italia.
We shall see.
All right, I'll see you, dude.
Rumor has it I'm supposed to get some tomorrow. All right, later.
Later. See ya.
We got Pink Panther out in the chat. Hey, Pink.
Yeah, Pink says if you travel with firearms, the airlines are now making you unload the mags and put them back into the boxes. Huh.
Do what?
Just in case you somehow pull a Con Air and you scurry into the belly of the plane and get your stuff back. I mean, that's a little bit.
No, I think they're. I remember reading something about they had to be either in an original packaging or in a separate enclosed package. But it's part of it's actual TSA boilerplate, and then other stuff is left to the discretion of the individual airlines. So it's more like the TSA has, okay, you have to do at least this. Then the airlines could be, well, we're going to do this.
The explosion thing.
Yes, because we all know that the 20 grains of powder in this can just blow a big hole and suck everybody out into oblivion from the pressure differential in the aircraft.
Cool.
Oh, if I could only get that lucky in some of the flights.
Well, all you have to do is just hope Homelander shows up and all your troubles will be solved.
All right. So that was, what did we talk about there? That was Walmart. All right.
That was Walmart and weird ammunition and why things are the way they are.
Yeah, weird estimate, yeah. Pink says, worst experience ever unloading 6 full 2011 mags back into boxes on the floor in front of the ticket counter on the Phoenix airport in front of everyone else. Yeah, that's freaking weird.
Oh, was that you that was doing that at Sky Harbor?
Wait, that was Pink?
Yeah.
I'm disappointed you did not have your costume on. Then again, be very afraid of a man walking around in Pink Panther footy pajamas with the 2011. Be very afraid.
Yeah. Here, I
didn't realize that was you there, Pink.
Did anybody watch Trump's speech from New Hampshire the other night?
Trump's still talking?
What do you mean? Is he still talking?
I know. Just trying to make conversation.
I don't think he's still talking. I don't think the speech is still going, but.
No, I did not see it.
heard about it, but I didn't see it or hear it.
Here's this is about 3/4 of the way through, and see if we can hear and see both hear and see this. We'll see here.
See if we can hear
You hear that?
Did you click share audio?
You didn't click share audio.
You didn't click share audio.
I don't
You
think
didn't click share audio.
I did.
You should have clicked share audio.
Do you have your volume
I
turned
did.
up on the video?
Yes, and I can hear it.
Well,
Can't hear it.
we can't, so either we're all deaf or you're mute.
Let's try again.
Such helpful, caring people.
Make sure you click share audio.
Share audio.
Yeah, I did.
Ladies and gentlemen, a new drinking game. Every time we say share audio, take a drink.
Share audio.
Yeah,
You might
gotta
wanna
make
share
sure you're
audio.
sharing the audio.
I think you should probably share audio.
The audio.
Do you think if I share it,
When you get a
that would help?
chance,
Maybe.
share the audio.
There's a little button down on the left-hand side that says share audio.
What's it
Yeah.
say?
Oh shit!
Luke says share audio.
All right, let's
If you
try
say
it.
it, the word several times, they start to not make sense anymore.
Share audio.
For $150, though, you can share all the audio you want.
Share, and why are we talking about it?
Broken.
Just 25 cents an
Bow,
episode.
bow, by and by.
Oh my.
Now, are you sharing the window or sharing that tab?
Maybe you should share somebody's internet. I mean, that looks
Yeah,
like
Or
it's just buffering like crazy now.
Control F5?
I'm not doing that.
No,
bring-
Control F5 will
There we
cause
go.
it to.
Can you hear it now?
no.
You can't hear it.
His lips move, but I can't hear what he's saying.
What the hell, man?
He didn't
All
share
right,
audio.
so fuck off. I did share audio. Asshole.
No, we're just hoping somebody actually took my challenge seriously and is hammered.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
no.
I mean, I don't think it's what I'm doing. I think there's an
Do you have the link you could post on the internal?
Yes, I do.
Or could send some type of electronic mail?
Oh no, I'll paste it here. There's the link to it, and then I can tell you exactly at what point. So go to 1 hour, 3 minutes, 30 seconds. If somebody wants to pull it up, and we'll see if you can do it.
Don't forget to click share audio.
Yeah, don't forget to click share audio.
Your audio.
Make sure you share audio.
Share audio.
Sunny and share audio.
They say we're young and we don't know. Who's doing this anyway?
Well, someone has to.
Somebody did it.
So
Somebody did
he
it.
said it's 1 hour.
Did you share audio?
Well, someone has to click my screen for it to do that. So it was 1 hour 30 something.
Can you hear it or no?
No.
No.
Yeah, something's going on. It's not letting me share audio at all. It did
Not
last.
letting you what?
It's not letting me share audio at all.
Said it was 1 hour 33.
Yeah. No, 1 hour, 3 minutes, 30 seconds.
That's where you should share the audio.
Well, I can't. You know, this unlike potentially gun tube. I can't just have it pop up to share my screen. Someone has to click on my screen to share my screen that I'm sharing.
Yeah, you can share a screen.
Where you're sharing the audio.
I'm sharing the screen in audio, but it's not. Midnight's not clicked on it.
Let's all share it.
Yeah, all of you share it. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
If everybody goes over to GunTube and the Indiegogo and donates, then we won't have this problem probably. We'd be able to do things right and have a good time.
Yeah, try clicking on my screen share, Midnight. See if this works. No, down. It should say Ape Screen Share or Find Ape Screen.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's not the right one. Why the hell? Stop screen. Share screen.
Yeah.
Did you share audio on that one?
Yes. Okay, now try it. Hold on. Pro tip: be careful screen sharing audio. Other participants will hear themselves if. Yeah, got it. So.
Okay, so it's only 3 minutes worth of video here, but it's 1 hour 30 seconds.
1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, right about 1 hour and 4 and change is when he actually blows the gun control thing right out of the water.
All right, hold. Courses. Let me unmute. See if that does it.
I could hear it.
You could hear it. Okay, well, I couldn't hear that you could hear it because other people were talking. So
I can't hear it.
We've had one of the best years.
Now I can hear it.
I can hear it because you shared
can
audio.
hear it.
That we've ever
all right,
had.
just let me mute this so
Wouldn't
I can
seem
hear
that
it.
way, but it is one of the best years because those gentlemen that we just saw, the law enforcement, they do a great job.
Really great job.
They do the best. They do the best.
They are so good. They're so good. They do a great job.
All
right,
about this
quit
a
sucking
lot
up.
lately. We are working very hard to make sure we keep guns out of the hands of insane people and
Wait
those
for
who
it.
are mentally sick and shouldn't have guns. But people have to remember, however, that there is a mental illness problem that has to be dealt with.
Wait.
It's not the
Here it
gun
comes.
that pulls the trigger. It's the person holding the gun.
So
Now I get it.
Oh, there's more.
I never realized that until just now.
Years ago, many cities and states, I remember it so well, closed
So well.
mental institutions for budgetary reasons. They let those people out onto the street. You probably have your examples up here. I
They
can tell you
totally
in
closed
New
them
York,
down.
They closed so many of them, and
Closed
they
so
let
many.
really seriously mentally ill people out on the streets. And you see plenty of them today, even today. We're going to have to give major consideration to building new facilities for those in need. We have to do it. And at the same time, we will be taking mentally deranged and dangerous people off of the streets, so we won't have to worry so much about that. A big problem.
Sorry, you're not going to
We
be
don't
out
have
roaming
those
around.
institutions anymore.
I don't
And
roam
people
around now.
can't
Are you
get
kidding?
proper care.
There's people
They're
out there. I don't like them.
seriously ill people, and they're on the streets.
People commit the majority of those
We
crimes.
can't make it harder
This
for
is
good,
true.
solid, law-abiding citizens to protect themselves. We will always uphold the right to self-defense, and we will always uphold the Second Amendment. We will.
All right.
Really?
When you guys got
Okay.
done?
Thanks, Abe.
When's he gonna start doing that?
Second.
That's going to start happening when?
Is he gonna start doing that after he takes the guns and before the due process, or is he gonna do that?
Yeah. Well, we know he's a populist, right? I mean, he's going to say whatever. I mean, if he's and they had a hell of a turnout there. I think they had like a record turnout at that convention center or whatever. Like it was the most people they ever had there or some shit. You got to know that he's around that many people. He's going to be saying whatever those people want to hear. I mean, that's just how he is. So, I mean, I take it with a grain of salt. You know, if
Oh no,
But
take
did
it with
they
a
wanna
block of
hear
salt.
if 30,000 people wanted to hear that, whatever they wanted to hear, I should say, that's what he's going to say. But at least on the good side, it's a sentiment put out there that's pro-gun, right? Pro-Second Amendment.
Yeah, it put the responsibility back onto the individual.
Mm-hmm.
And say if it's
Yeah.
pro-gun, it's just not anti-gun. I think that's about as much as we can really say with anything Trump does.
But he's dealing with an issue and not making it another issue. He's talking about we need to keep the people that don't need to have them from having, and the mentally deranged. He's not talking about someone that's a minor issue, but yet we find fault in it constantly. What's good enough for us?
Yeah. I think there's, and this was something, I did listen to a little bit of Yankee show today, and they were talking about the Fredo thing, and how it, what you say, like why say stuff that, offends people, makes you look bad. If you're just saying stuff just to offend people or to be shocking or whatever, that's no good. And I was thinking about the other day, I've been seeing, everybody's hammering on Crenshaw so bad, which I don't agree with what he's doing either. I think the red flag laws and the TAPS Act or whatever is kind of like the gateway drug for gun confiscation and no due process. I don't agree with it for sure. But I also don't agree, and I think it makes us look bad how many people are coming out and kind of going after him, personally too. I think that makes us look bad to some extent. And I think back to when Pete Davidson was on Saturday Night Live, and he was making jokes about him, and he said the pirate joke and the pirate in a porno joke or whatever, and then he said, he lost his eye in combat or whatever, and how how everybody jumped on his back, and everybody jumped on Pete Davidson and started talking shit about him, and he was an asshole, and how dare he say that about a veteran, and how could he say somebody about that like that to somebody that lost their eye in combat and put their life on the line. And now Crenshaw came out and he backed this bill, which I don't think is right. I don't think he should have. Trust me, I don't think he should have anything to do with it. And whatever he has to do with it, I think he should be against it, and he should be pushing back on it and not trying to help it. But at the same time, now people are jumping at Crenshaw and making fun of him and making fun of him being a pirate and doing all this shit. And I don't think it's right. I think it's bullshit. I think we should be better than that. I think and it's not going to help. Making fun of the guy isn't going to help convince him not to back this TAPS Act or TAPS bill.
Exactly right.
If treating him like shit and calling him maybe he is a pirate, maybe he is, all this stuff, that isn't going to help. That isn't going to make him say, well, you know what? Okay, you guys made fun of me enough now. I guess I'll go. I guess I won't back it. That's stupid.
So here's the other problem with the Fredo thing, and this is a real problem, because they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do with this, because under their quote unquote red flag laws, what he did was a violation and should have been arrested for it, and should have been physically to follow the red flag law with him, and they refused to do it.
Catch me up to speed, because I've missed this whole Fredo thing.
Okay, so what happened was CNN's Como.
Mm-hmm.
He was confronted in a restaurant by a right wing, not really a right wing, but kind of a heckler, and he called him Fredo, and he absolutely went ballistic to the point that he threatened to throw the guy down a flight of steps. Basically, long story short, that's what it boiled down to. He physically threatened to throw the guy, beat the shit out of him, and throw him down the steps. And he was going nuts. And he went off, and it was all recorded.
Mm.
So right after that, he never apologized for it. And I believe the following day, a couple of law enforcement people were like, hello, that's like a violation of our red flag laws. How come nobody followed up on that? Well, because he's from CNN. And I got washed under the carpet, but it's starting to become a big thing. They're starting to, hey, if it's good for us little peons, it got to be good for them too.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they aren't following through with that, so that's becoming a big deal.
Well, at least they're following through with it.
Yeah, they're pushing it, but it's not going anywhere because it's gonna get washed under the table.
Like to just to keep poking the dead horse here, not the dead horse, but a dead horse. I carry my revolver in single action, and out in the chat saying Fredo is not a racial slur. I have no idea what Yankee was talking about. It's from a movie. It's not the fact that it's a racial slur. It's the fact that this person said something that pissed this guy off, and everyone just keeps poking their finger in that particular wound. It's like if I know that if I call Sarge a pig or a sausage man, and he says, hey, don't fucking call me that, and then all of a sudden me and even if it's not me, like 3 other people or people who don't like Sarge just start saying, oh, hey there, pig, how you doing, pig? And just keep egging him on, keep poking the person in the eye. That just doesn't make us as a community look that good. It's just, oh yeah, if it's all you're doing is pissing somebody else off just because it's you got pissed off because I called you a silly name. It's called himself Fredo also. I know it's
and the thing of it is,
there's a double standard.
Yeah, and the Fredo isn't even it's not an ethnic anything. Like you said, it's from a movie. It means absolutely nothing to anybody about nothing.
Well, what was Yankee defending it or condemning it?
I caught like a little bit of it. I was out working in the shed and need my earbuds for actual for sound protection, not listening for stuff. It was basically it's because Never Enough Ammo just kept going back of, oh, it's not a racial slur. It's from a movie or then it's how do I put it? It's not the fact that, oh, it's from a movie, so therefore it can't possibly be bad or offensive. It's, hey,
I can't
this person said it. This person
try to overly explain things like that. Oh no, that's not what this means. Those guys knew exactly what they were
it's not
doing.
the context of, hey, is this a racial slur? Is this as whatever the fuck his name is, I don't remember, and now I remember that we call him Fredo. Said,
Como.
oh, well, that Como says, well, that's the N word for Italians. No, because you said N word. You didn't say N. You said Fredo. You didn't say, oh, well, that F word is the N word for us Italian or people of Italian descent. It's just, hey, we know this word pisses the guy off, and the reaction online is just kind of keep poking this guy in the eye, just keep poking him in the eye, and his whole thing was, if all you're doing is just poking him in the eye to poke him in the eye, piss him off, and get your jollies that way, then you're not doing whatever you're trying to push or any favor. You're just making it look like, oh, you're just an immature idiot.
And on the flip side to that, if it would have been reversed, the Dems would have been poking and poking and poking and poking. So now they're getting their own medicine back, which is what it's boiling down to. Mm-hmm. They're getting their own medicine back, and now they don't like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, right away, it was Fredo. Oh, that's a racial slur. You're just a racist. And that's what they're like. The hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know.
And apparently there is an Italian Anti-Defamation League as well. So, of course, they're going to have that person on there where anything is defaming people of Italian descent. It's just all that. It's the continuing tactic of, okay, your family's was originally from here, so you get to go over on this side of the fence. Oh, your family was over here, you get to be on that side of the fence, and just keep putting people into their own little different pockets and keeping everyone pissed off at each other. So it's like, so the politicians can just kind of wring their hands and go, okay, how can we fuck these suckers over again today?
Yeah, they're intentionally trying to do a racial divide. That's all it's been.
Well, divide on anything. It doesn't matter whether it's race or anything that they can kind of get their little pry bar into to kind of keep everybody apart.
Agreed. And right now it's race. That's what their big thing is.
It's race and orientation and forgot what your perceived
gender. Yeah. That's always a good one too. I love that one.
Well, most young kids and young adults don't care anything about people's race, people's orientation. They just don't care. They don't care. The people that are bringing it up are trying to, they're trying to bring up a victim mentality, but like my kids could care less about any of that stuff. And I noticed that with all their friends. They just, we're actually fairly close to being past this, at least from what I see in my little corner. As far as, but it's the other groups and like you said, the media that keep bringing it up, that keep causing the divide. As a whole, we're actually getting past it, but that's just what I see.
Yeah, and that's in your one semi-rural area. And as we know, it's not the 95% of Americans that the news listens to. It's the 2.5% over on this end and the 2% over on that end, and then maybe 0.5% is actual freaking news. We're not going to report on the fact that 5,000 planes landed safely today. We're going to focus on the one where this guy got drunk and irate because they wouldn't serve him another 7-Up and scotch.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Welcome to the left-wing media.
Well, it's pretty
anything to push their narrative and agenda.
Anything to sell that sweet, sweet advertisement time.
Yep. Anything for the ratings.
So, Vandalistica, who are you saying like CCI stingers? Or is this some new type of Aussie idiosyncrasy, like saying cellular phone, telephone, that pisses you off?
I want you to say that 10 times real fast.
Cellular phone, telephone, 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 cellular phone.
He really is a smart ass.
Really?
Yeah. You haven't noticed this for what, the year and a half we've been doing these chats?
Well, I think Frodo Bangins is the isn't that the porn parody of
Dildo Gaggins?
Mm-hmm. So, Frodo Bangins.
Oh yeah, this one I'd love too.
This Cuomo thing, and this kind of made me think about this too. Now, this happened in England. This is in Britain. They arrested this dude, and he's got this, kind of goofy, crazy hair, right?
It's like a reverse faux hawk.
Right. And people, of course, once they put out this dude's mugshot on social media, whatever, people started tearing into him, making fun of him and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the police actually made a statement, how, it's not, it's a crime to be publicly
making fun of people's bad
making fun of people, publicly shaming people, all that kind of stuff. So now, like, you go back to this Cuomo thing, how the more of this kind of crazy stuff that happens, the more of this, like, public shaming, viral videos, the stuff with Cuomo, not just Cuomo, but everybody else, going out there like this. We talk about the audits, the First Amendment audits, and people do to all this crazy shit that people do to cops, and they film them. They do something, just to get a rise out of police officers and film it and put it on the internet, and it becomes a big thing. The more of that shit happens, the more our country is going to want to push towards what Britain does, and not let people speak and not let people say stuff. I think it's such a it's such a scary thing because we're giving rights away left and right, and or trying to. And the more we push the issue, push the envelope, the closer we are, I think, to government forming laws and having enough people behind them to say, you know what, this is getting enough. Look at this guy's just taunting Cuomo just to get a rise out of him. We can't let this happen. This has got to be illegal. And next thing you know, that's illegal. Then, this is illegal and that's illegal. And it just snowballs, I think that's the scariest part about it.
And I'll push
As in the
back on.
First Amendment thing.
As I say, and I'll push back on that one, saying that the one side does that constantly, all the time, and the other side sits there and goes, "Oh, that's okay. We're bigger than they are. We'll just let it go." And now look at the hole we're in. So now, it's gonna pushback is gonna come. It's just all a matter of when. And now it's starting to get pushed back.
Yeah, the First Amendment audits are the "I'm not touching you" for adults.
Right.
That's what I always think of. But and anybody that like Limtech, I'm sure he can. I don't know whether he can back this up, but I'm going to guess he can. The more that the media is against, like we're talking about law enforcement, and they're negative about them, the more people that come up in person and tell you how much they appreciate you.
Yep.
Or pick up a meal for you, or they'll say that somebody picked up your meal and they didn't want to know who they were. That has happened more. The more the media is against, the more people come up in person and tell you how much they appreciate you.
The funny part of you say that, and it reminded me, I was standing in a Circle K the other day, and I was getting line paying for my soda, and this lady comes up and she goes, "I'd just like to thank you." And I said, "For what?" She goes, "For carrying a gun." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Just out of the blue. She was happy just because somebody was there and somebody had a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cool. But yeah, I do. I get that quite a bit, especially when they find out what I actually do and who I work with and who I work for. I kind of hesitate on when I wear my shirt, where I go with my shirt on, but but normally they're like, "Hey, thanks for doing what you're doing," and it's a sucky job, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Two guys got questioned at Walmart again for open carrying. I saw. It was in. Now they didn't get. There wasn't. It was in Missouri.
But they only got questioned, right?
Yeah. It was not anything main, but and this is a very short article about it. I found, but they did talk to they interviewed a shopper that was there at the time. It says they were released a short time. They were released shortly afterward. Investigators said the men did not break any laws. And then there was a quote here. It said, "It makes me a little nervous given the fact that they had all these Walmart shootings, and I think people are starting to take it as a joke," shopper Maria Smith told WDAF. So I thought that was a pretty interesting comment by, I don't know if that woman owns guns. I don't know if she grew up, I don't know what her stance is on guns, but her stance on the fact that I'm assuming she's talking about gun owners. Just think, you know what I mean? If her stance is, they think these shootings are just a joke, and look, they would still walk into a Walmart open carrying. Her view on gun owners, that those two guys walking in there changed her view on gun owners. Even though they didn't do anything illegal, she now thinks that they are disrespectful, I would imagine. I think that's probably safe to say. Her words using, they think this is a joke. What do you guys think about that?
What were they open carrying? Just
pistols, I imagine it was just handguns.
They were
going in.
I bet it was a rifle if it made the news.
I don't.
Does it say unusual in the article?
There's nothing unusual about someone carrying a handgun. At
I'll look it.
I'll
look it up.
There might not be anything unusual about it. It just depends on who saw it and who wanted to make a big deal out of it.
Again, opinions are like assholes.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna.
And hers is.
Everyone call in at our local Walmart. Excuse me, if I could speak.
Walmart.
About anyone open carrying at our Walmart, and every time I go in there, I see someone. And when I'm working, I never hear a call go out about it. Never. They don't care. I'm just gonna guess it was somebody with a rifle on their back as a prop, and they got the reaction that they wanted. They wanted someone to call, which is okay. They wanted to draw attention to it, but sounds like these guys, kept it cool and didn't
What'd you say, Midnight?
Handguns.
It was handguns.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it all depends on who saw it, how endangered, I'm doing air quotes, they felt about it, and how, it's.
Then that was a liberal that they interviewed.
Yeah, it's all that kind of massive disaster thing where it's not one thing caused it. It's all these little things lined up to where, this one person saw that, they got the dispatcher, this dispatcher got the new guy who wanted to be Mr. New, and it became an issue. Now, just from that one lady's quote, now, and did I hear it right? She said all these Walmart shootings, plural?
Yeah, I believe that's what she said.
Okay, there was just the one in El Paso. There again, we got, I don't know, I guess you'd call it kind of the media manipulation of making this one thing, which was a very bad thing, but making it seem like it's much bigger than it was or much farther reaching than it was. So, I don't know, I had a point here that I was getting to, but I forgot what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I get you. I mean, that's a use of a plural that maybe isn't technically right, but I think for me, like, one of the biggest things is we always go back and forth on whether is it appropriate to not is it legal, but is it appropriate to open carry or not open carry? And I think one of the biggest things us as gun owners need to do is, and we always say it all the time, is to make people feel comfortable around guns, make them see that it's not weird, make them see that it's okay that that we carry and that it's an everyday thing and it's not dangerous. And
you get to see where someone carrying a handgun, it's like, you see someone carrying a multi-tool. It's got a knife on it. It's potentially dangerous, but it's just a thing.
Right. So, and there's going to be people that say, well, these guys didn't do anything wrong and it's totally legal and what they did is fine. And I get that. And I to some extent, I agree with this. But if it's turning the public sentiment about guns to bad, if it's turning the sentiment bad, then you shouldn't do it. Right. I mean, if it's making people uncomfortable and maybe she didn't have any opinion on guns, and her opinion on guns is these people are disrespectful. Why would they do that? Why would these assholes do this? Instead of hopefully her first, if that wouldn't have happened, I don't know, maybe her first experience with guns could have been a good one. And now her first experience with guns is a bad one. I don't know.
I think
now here's another random ass thought that popped into my head midnight. Does it say in the article exactly what question whoever the reporter is asked?
No, I don't think so.
Well, because it could be like some of those phone surveys of they'll ask a very leading question of, do you think that Trump is doing a bad job as a president, or do you think that there are magical underwear gnomes in your closet who are waiting to kill you? Just taking it to an extreme. I don't know.
Well, I think if all they did was just open carry a pistol, that's the person that they picked them out specifically so they would get a good little sound bite or a good little snippet and make it seem bad.
It could be. Sure.
If that's all they did, unless they were doing something else, and yeah, they walked out in front of or crossed paths with the wrong person if they called in about that. But where were they at? Was where was that location?
Missouri.
It was in Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri. Then I agree. I mean, if they would have walked up to 10 people and 9 out of the 10 would have been like, no, I don't give a shit. What do I mean, they didn't do anything, so what's the big deal?
Yeah.
And one person said, this is they should, these guys are bad. Yeah, they're going to pick that guy. They're going to pick that 1 out of 10 that's going to talk shit about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've said several times that I don't like guns as props. I don't care for it. Not 100% against it in certain situations, but those guys weren't doing that. It sounds like they were just, open carrying.
They were going in to buy. They were on their way to the. I guess they were on their way to the range. It didn't say they were on their way to the range, but it said they were on their way. They went there to buy ammo for the range trip.
Yeah,
Which I've done before. I mean, I've done that in the past too. When I used to drive past, I mean, it was Gander Mountain, so it's a little different. My range is on the Gander Mountain used to be on the way to a range, but then every once in a while I just have it on my hip, but that was Gander Mountain. It was a little different. It wasn't a Walmart, but I don't know. It's just another way to look at it, or another thing happened that makes you think. Makes you question.
I was going to say, because come to Arizona and you walk in any Walmart any given day, and 3/4 of the people in there are carrying guns.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying if I'm sitting there bored off my butt, instead of having my Birds of Arizona book, I can just keep a little tally of, oh, that's a Glock, that's a 1911, that's a SIG, that's a revolver,
pretty much. Well,
that's a giant with the white dog.
Yep. Yeah. Most days you can, and that you sit there and go, oh, that's a pretty nice one. And you wind up in a conversation with 5 or 6 people in the in the middle of a Walmart aisle.
Apparently offended Vandalistica when he thought I said magic underpants instead of magic underpants gnomes. I didn't realize I didn't realize they had Mormons in Australia. I thought that was a U.S. thing.
Big difference between underpants and underpants gnomes, though. Big difference.
Yes, the magic underpants protects you with God's righteous fury. The magic underpants gnome steals said underpants.
That's true.
Then they do something and then profit. It's an international cult. Thought those were AC/DC fans. I'm sorry, this is about all the Australian slamming and sliding I know.
Don't make fun of Australia.
Yes, they have bugs that will kill you dead.
There's like 7 things. There's like 7 things in Australia that if it bites you, you could die. I think it's more than any other continent.
And that's just the people.
It's true. Yeah. Scary little bastards. Yours too?
The internal's acting up.
Yeah, I'm having some trouble. My internet's running slow. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if anybody else is seeing anything.
Well, now C4, if you would have eaten the celery with the atomic hot wings, you wouldn't have some such messed up internals.
Gizzard's tickling you over there. It's kind of creepy. I don't know what you're doing there, Giz, but
looks like he's trying to stab Sarge in the back.
Yeah, stab. Yeah, that's it. Uh-oh.
Oh, it looks like we lost Sarge.
Dippity-dooed out.
Yeah, Midnight, you robot every now and again, but other than that, you're not doing too bad.
Okay. Vandalistica says, I watched the video you sent me in the chat this morning. I was watching that eggshell. I don't even remember. I send some stupid shit to people. I don't even remember what it was. I'll come home and lay in bed. So I can't always go straight to sleep. You know what I mean? Especially after like a busy night, you're a little bit awake, get out of the shower, it wakes you up. I'll lay in bed and look through Instagram and stuff and tag people in some dumb shit. Some goofy stuff out there. There's apes patches. Bought a couple of patches at the gun show today, actually.
Think Sarge is back on the internal.
Oh.
So you're back from outer space? So what's with that sad look upon your face?
Speaking of gun shows, where was it?
It was in Harrisburg.
But I mean, what's the name of the facility?
It's at the farm show complex.
So
Because I drove out past that big complex.
Yeah, that's where the sportsman show is and stuff.
That place is gigantic.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah, it's monstrous.
Holy mackerel!
Yeah, that's I mean the show is just a little room or whatever. It's not that big of a deal. But when they do the sports and outdoors show, you got to come up for the sports and outdoors show next year. It's a whole week long. It's
I've heard it's good.
Yeah. And it's pretty cool because there's different. They have it all sectioned off, so you can go in. There's one big hall that's going to be just fishing. There's one hall that's just like camping stuff and RVs and that kind of shit. It's crazy. And then they have the room with guns and stuff. It's called shooting sports room or whatever.
Especially when they roll the boats and the RVs and everything in there, and they park everything inside.
Mm-hmm. And they have a big Hulk tank in there. They have a big, huge tank that they fish in. And they have a big pool that's real shallow, but you can fly fish in and stuff like that. Try out fly fishing equipment and stuff. It's crazy. But that's I think it usually runs like Saturday to Sunday or something like that. So it'll run a week. It'll actually cover like 2 weekends.
So where is that? Scranton?
Harrisburg. Yeah, I did security there once, and I'll tell you what, that's a lot of freaking walking. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, in Glimtech, you should, if you make time, come down to Wanamaker, or actually be over to Wanamaker for you, I think.
Yeah, it'll be over to Wanamaker. I'm actually thinking about that in the fall, depending on what my schedule looks like here as it gets a little closer. But yeah, I'm gonna try to make Wanamaker.
2 Live Moo out in the chat. I just had a vision of Midnight doing a cannonball into the fish pond. I think we'd have to be more worried about Obnoxious going around and looking at where's my little fishy. Where's my little fishy?
Yeah, I'm not. I put in there. I'm not allowed in the fishing room anymore.
Well, you run around saying, "Hey, you want to see my worm?" enough times. They just had to put an end to that.
Oh, wiggle worm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Jorge's talking about George is talking about the Tulsa show. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get out there one of these years. Maybe next year. The water was too cold.
Significant shrinkage.
Yeah.
Needless to, we were talking about bacon, and you sent me a link to rolled bison meatloaf. Ooh, that sounds interesting.
Check my email. I'm supposed to check my email here. Let's see what I got. Pink sent me something. That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe hopefully it's.
Was it dead ants? I'm thinking it's dead ants.
I don't have anything in my email from you, Pink. I got. You sure? Who sent it? Pink, do you send me something?
I think Sarge popped in and out again.
He's
pulling a Patriot.
This bullshit, man. I can't keep doing all this work.
Well, you need like an assistant.
I had to restart my router. I apologize.
It's cool.
Lies.
True.
It's true.
Hey,
It's a lie.
Pink, since you made the comment about Sky Harbor, are you actually from Arizona?
I think Pink is in Ohio, is it?
Yes, I think so.
I'm sorry.
Vandalistic is one sexy beast. When is Vandalistic? You're coming over here soon, right? Or November?
Thought he was going to try and make Wanamaker.
Yeah.
I saw they flew in Sky Harbor for Vegas. Wow.
I don't know. Will Vandalistic be able to handle so much freedom in one sitting? I mean, he might go comatose and then. I don't know. What is parcel post to ship to Australia nowadays?
I don't know. It'd be
$50 a pound.
I don't know. Who knows? I'm sure it'd be a shitload of money to get him to mail himself over here.
Well, let's see. I don't know how many are on CloverTax Patreon, but he might be starting up something for funding to get to the Gun Rights Policy Conference, and told him, hey, you don't happen to have any outstanding warrants in Phoenix, we could get you extradited there free of charge. I mean, you'll still have a charge against you. Maybe we could do the same thing with Vandalistica, see if we can get, I don't know, some way of getting the feds to get him over here, get him back to Australia.
I was to say, if he's coming into Sky Harbor, we can always check his immigration status and detain him temporarily until that clears, which could be a week, 2 weeks, a month.
GoFundMe Australian style. That sounds like something that belongs on Pornhub there, Moo. Marco and I make a shot a 2-week trip. Fly in early and sightsee, hit the Grand Canyon last year. Okay.
Vandalistic is going to float over here on the door. Somebody's going to he's going to pop his front door off his house and paddle it over here.
No, Vandalistica says, put me in a cage, boys. Okay, if you're into that kind of thing, but just to let you know, it's going to be extra for us to hire a gimp to drag you around. And I don't think Flippy's free that weekend.
Still got interwebs there, Sarge?
Yes, I think I'm back in business.
All right.
Your router is routering?
Your router is routed?
Anytime it doesn't act up much, but anytime it does, you just...
Yeah.
I hadn't restarted it in a couple of weeks, so...
It doesn't act up 100% of the time, but 90% of the time it acts up 100%.
50% of the time, it works all the time.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Pink said he sent it again.
Okay.
George, that's true. We don't put kids in cages, but I don't think we can get Vandalistica tried as a minor anymore.
If you guys get a chance, watch the video that I posted for Pinky.
What did you say, Midnight?
He sent me a meme. It said bologna is just hot dog pancakes. I got one for you. Here. I took a pic. Let me see here. I'll post something on Instagram and then we'll talk about it. What about a minor? So let's see what's the cheapest way we can get Vandalistica over here? What are we gonna do?
I think you had it right. Just mail it. Mail himself.
Mail him?
No, because shipping to us, especially Australia, for whatever reason, is freaking outrageous. I think it's like $50 for like a 10-pound package.
Get him over to Mexico and just have him come across the border. That's the cheapest way.
Well, there's a big thing in the middle, the way there it's called the Pacific Ocean. I mean, unless you want to go the overland route from Australia to Java to China.
Minor details.
Well, no, hold on. If we can get him to Darwin, we can put him on a steamer to Hong Kong, Hong Kong to Vladivostok, Vladivostok to Dutch Harbor, Dutch Harbor down to Long Beach.
There you go.
I mean, it'll only take you 5 years, but... Or, if you could sneak aboard one of those ships in Hong Kong, they'll go direct to the U.S., but it'll take them a year to even get you out of your container.
So if he starts now,
he might make it for spring Wanamaker of 2020.
There you go.
Chop him up, USPS if he. I don't think they have USPS in Australia. Pink.
Chop him up. Horrible. Poor guy.
Yeah. He's not a real doll. You can't just pop the limbs off and away you go. I mean, you could, but I don't think they'd be. Think they'd be a little south of cheese and not want to plug back in. And I've killed the Jad again.
That's all right.
I'm sorry. I'm doing for a new record. Just need to get a job on a ship and disappear when you get there.
See what people think about this Instagram post. Basically, took a hot dog bun, right? Put a couple pieces of turkey in it and ate it. Is that a turkey sandwich?
Of course it is.
Of course. Okay. So if you take the turkey out and you put a hot dog in there, then it's a hot dog sandwich. Holy shit.
Illuminati confirmed.
Mm-hmm. If you put turkey into a hot dog bun, it doesn't make it a turkey hot dog.
No, it makes it a poor man's sub.
Right. Right. I just thought of that the other day because I grabbed it. We have potato rolls for hot dogs at the restaurant. We do them for bar food and stuff. Grabbed one, threw a couple pieces of turkey in it, and like as I looked at it, I was like, light bulb went off in my head. I was like, well, this is still a turkey sandwich, right? And it's in a hot dog roll, right?
Yeah, it's just a sad submarine sandwich.
Yeah. G's going to see that. He's going to be so mad.
Get a job with...
It's bullshit.
She'll get lost in the crowd. Who is that? Had a box of their ammo here. Vandalistica, you might be able to get a job with. Hold on. So things actually made... It's not Outback Arms.
You need to get a job on a ship and disappear when you get here. Yeah. There you go. Just get a job over here. And then you can come over on a visa.
And just not leave.
Right. It's okay if you do it. We don't mind if you do it. Nobody else.
There you go, Vandalistica. Get a job with these guys and then just come over for SHOT Show.
There you go. Well, what's the ammo manufacturer from Australia?
I think there's like Outback Ammo.
Yeah, Outback.
And then there's this Australian Defence Industry of VIC. Is that Victoria?
They were doing a sale on Outback Ammo a couple weeks ago. I'd never heard of it. And I saw it, and it was like buy one, get one 50% off or something like that. It was a really good price. But it was like $223 or $556. I guess it was $223. And it was coming down to like 20 cents a round, a little over 20 cents a round, I think. It was really inexpensive. It was a really good price. And it was because it was like old stock. They were changing something. I forget what they were changing their cases. They were changing something about their factory was changing, and they were doing a sale to try and clear out some product. Then I read a bunch of reviews on it. I looked it up because I didn't know anything about it, and everything I saw was really good. It was the match stuff. People were saying that it was. They were very happy with it. I don't know if there's still any on sale, if they're still doing it or not, but you might want to look it up. It's brass cased and annealed. It looked really good.
Yeah, I remember when they first started coming in. One of my distributor sites had it like on their banner for like 2 months of new stuff, and yeah, they did mostly like mostly like the small bore hunting ammo, like the 223 and like the 22 250 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I never bought any. That was like 3-4 years ago, I think, when they started bringing them in.
What's
No, Van, this guy was at. Oh, you're only joking. So neither Outback or ADI is. I don't know. I just bought these because this was the time when 300 Blackout was first kind of gaining traction, and Cabela's only had some couple. But here's the thing. I mean, they do. I mean, look at how they freaking package this stuff. It's in like these little gummy blister packs. I want to see a damn vending machine stock with these.
there you go.
I mean, who wouldn't?
That's different.
Vandaliska says the Outback stuff is mostly Sierra bullets. Okay. Yes, that makes sense.
I just Googled it. I Googled Outback ammo sale, and I got this Global Ordnance, which I don't know anything about. Global Ordnance website.
Could be like their parent company.
Yeah, something.
You know, like Federal is owned by ATK, or ATK is now owned by whoever.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently it looks like they're still doing it. Australian Outback, buy one get one. Oh, it's buy one get one.
BOGO?
Yeah. Buy one get one free Outback 308 Win 165 grain Sierra. Sierra Game Kings.
Okay.
No, those are the SBTs. That's not the hollow points, but it's the $27. It's down $54 normally at buy one get one. Buy one get one Outback 223 Remington 69 grain Sierra hollow point boat tail Match King $19.
Pfeiffer out in the chat says, "Have you seen the can munition stuff in aluminum cans that Global sells?"
Yeah, I've seen
is that like their version of the bucket of bullets or the Fiocchi can of heats?
Yeah, Fiocchi makes them. Yeah, it's like a beer. It looks like a beer can.
The Fiocchi ones are like the nut, like the mixed nut or the Planters cardboard cans, where it's got like the little pop top on them.
No, I think I just saw Fiocchi, and they had. I think it was Fiocchi that I saw. They had ones that almost looked like beer cans or soda cans. Buy one get one by the case.
Do they have buy one get one by the pallet?
200 round case of Australian Outback 223 69 grain Sierra Match King HPBT hollow point
bolt tail.
Yep.
Got anything to plug before you head to bed, Gary? You're muted, Gary.
Well, no wonder he couldn't hear me a second.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't know. Yeah, I'm not looking at that.
I sneezed a second ago. I muted my mic. I forgot. Sorry about that.
You had that big yawn.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave. But thanks for the invite. Yeah, check out Foul Territory Friday nights, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Early bird chat Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 Central. And thanks for the invite. And give him the bird.
Bird is the word.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Thanks, buddy.
Night.
Oh yeah, there's the blister cases or plastic. Yeah. Absolutely no sales to the state of California for any reason. Big red letters. It says, thanks to the infinite. It says, thanks to the infinite wisdom in California, we have to redo all the packaging on Australian Outback ammunition to comply with the latest iteration of the California Prop 65 to bubble wrap the planet and make everything snowflake proof. So we decided to extend our amazing buy one get one on 300 Blackout to our Blitz King 223 as well as we have all packaging. That's what it is. Yeah. I thought it was something. They had to redo something with their factory, their packaging. They have to redo all their packaging. So they're trying to blow stuff out so they can sell to California. Crazy.
Well, now hold on. California wants to bubble wrap and blister pack everything, yet I can't have a goddamn straw at McDonald's.
Yeah. And there's
The
no
more
limit.
You know.
It's buy one, get one, no matter how many. So, buy 100, get 100, whatever you do.
Nice.
I wish I had a little. I'd pick a case up for sure.
What are they asking for a case?
Well, see, this is the match stuff. It's not like plinking ammo, but this one's $190 for a 200 round case of 223 69 grain Sierra hollow point boat tail Sierra Match Kings. So it's $190, so it's less than $1 a round, but then you get another case, so it's like 40 cents a round.
As I say, you got 400 rounds. Yeah, nothing wrong with that since they're Match Kings.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's what I mean. It's a good round.
They work well. They work well in 2 and 3 gun matches, especially when you're doing range.
Mm-hmm. They have they don't have the heavy 308s, but
heavy. You mean like 165 and above?
Yeah, I think the ones I'm shooting are 175 grain 308s, but they have the 168 grain Sierra Match King in 308, and it comes down to $25 a box.
Yeah, 168, 167 grain boat tail hollow point is kind of like the de facto accuracy round for 308.
Yeah, I've never shot 168. I've only shot 175 grain or whatever it is.
Yeah, the 175s are a lot. If you're going like a super long range, because they maintain their momentum a lot better than the 165s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, more mass.
Yeah, usually for 308, it's like 110 grain to maybe 180 for as far as what the bullet range of bullet weights.
It says, how does this round compare to Federal Match King? Glad you asked. They're every bit as accurate. Australian Outback also uses the Match King, but at this price, it blows the Federal Match King out of the water. Plus, it's loaded with ballistic temperature independent powder, so you know that your shot will be consistent regardless of temperature. So I don't know what the difference is between the powder they would use in Federal, but
I don't know. But let me see if I got a canister here. I know back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, Hodgkin came out with these, they call them extreme powders. They're meant to be temperature insensitive because chemistry 101, a chemical reaction in a very warm and hot environment is a lot more energetic than one in a very cold environment. But then I think a couple of years ago, Hodgkin came out with a new series of super extreme temperature insensitive powders. So and touch the sound.
And the question is, do you want to go with the 55 grain or the 69 grain?
Yeah, so I just pulled up Cabela's, and actually price is actually pretty good. $29 for a Federal gold medal match, 308 and 6, but 28 or $25 for a box, and you get buy one get one. I'm guessing that's the.
Were you on Global Ordnance?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Wouldn't be It'd be nice to at that price, man. Holy shit, that'd be awesome to buy the 308 for sure. Says also buy one get one on 7.62 millimeter f4 ball. Is that what is the f4 ball? I mean, it's 308, so it's just 762 by 51, I guess. But what does the f4 designation mean? I've never seen that.
Fail, 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 fail.
Yeah. Then you get one that goes off, so every fifth one is okay. Doesn't say. I don't know what that is.
I think Sarge is zoning out.
That's what I want.
What's that?
That's what I want right there.
That's CHP.
Yeah, I didn't realize I wanted one. So I just kept looking at them.
I like everything about it except for I don't like that safety. I don't like the
Here's the thing, though. It's a decocker.
Yeah, it's not safety. It's a decocker.
It's a spring-loaded decocker.
But don't they come with safeties? And they were
not the CHP one.
No,
yeah,
they're
keep your goddamn finger out of the trigger guard.
Decockers. They're a spring-loaded decocker. All they really did was just drilled a little hole in where the old safety would go, and just have a spring wrapped around it, so it just pops back up. Then they took the little detent out of it.
Yeah, the CHP comes with the integrated rail. It's all the same. It's integrated into the slide instead of the TSW, which has an attached rail to it. It's basically like any third gen Smith, except it's got like a black piece of rail riveted to it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just add this later.
Yeah, exactly. And then all the CHP ones are decocker, ambi decocker, Bob Tammer magazine disconnect, proprietary magazine.
Stupid magazine disconnect, man.
It's an easy workaround.
And they all have the CHP as the first three letters of the serial number.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and if I recall, I don't remember if it was these or just the regular TSWs. They're meant to be like the top end of the third generation. So they actually picked a frame, a slide, a barrels, stamped the serial number on them, and hand fitted them, or worked with just that. It wasn't like, okay, here's a frame, here's a barrel, here's a slide, put it together. Okay, it functions the way it goes. And I just bumped my monitor. Why would I do that?
What are they going for now?
They're going for 4 at CDNN?
Yep.
Adam?
Yeah, they're like 4-ish. They're under 4, but they're like, basically 4. It's one of those like $9.99, $95 kind of deals.
Yeah, they're $399.99.
Only downside is they only come with one magazine, and CDNN doesn't have any with them.
Oh, CDNN's only sending out one magazine?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. When I got mine from King's Firearms, it came with 2.
Well, I'm pretty sure what CDNN was doing was any spare magazines they
sold them
separate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
to be fair, I did see, I think, probably half of the magazines in existence at the gun show here in Winston-Salem last weekend.
And what Midnight's talking about, proprietary...
Obnoxious.
One of yous.
One of us
talking
fat
about
white
it.
guys.
It's got this little bump out on the front, so it won't. At first, I thought it was just California being California because you see that number right there. It's 11. It's one more than 10. It's evil. It's think of the children. I thought it was just California being California of, oh, this is a police department gun, therefore anyone who has a 4006, this can't fit in your California approved 4006. But no, it's something that Smith & Wesson did on the 4006s because this is pretty much the exact same magazine body as the 5906. So their reasoning is, oh, this 40 caliber magazine will fit in a 9mm, so we don't want people putting those in there and trying to, jam a 400 thousandths diameter bullet into a 355 thousandths hole. But yeah, that and the fact that they only hold 11, but they are really narrow double stack magazines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're fighting to get that 11th one in there.
I found if you get it loaded almost perfectly to where it's not like dragging on the front anywhere, it's easier, but yeah, you're kind of fighting to put it. Let's see, I got this Beretta PX4 mag. Where's my measuring caliper?
And, fun fact, people in California cannot buy a California Highway Patrol gun.
Yeah, it's not on the approved list.
It's not on the roster.
Great. More reason to have one.
Yeah, I'm just looking here at this PX4 magazine. I mean, granted, this is an extendo, so it's 17 rounds, but it's not that much thicker. And the base one of this is a 14-round magazine, and this one only holds 11. But I don't know. They only made the 4006s for one generation, so it's not like the 5906 where they have the magazines from the Model 59 back in like 1960 or whatever, and just kept using the same magazine over and over.
The wife said she asked if anybody watched the Gay Frog chat. She wanted to hear the latest on Epstein. He's still dead, or not? We don't know.
I don't know.
They buried him at sea, so we'll never know.
No,
Yeah,
they buried something at sea. No, I've usually when I open up YouTube on my cell phone, I just go right to or it's already on subscriptions. I don't go to like the homepage and it has like your top 3 videos, then goes to the news. Last time I did, it said, "Oh, the coroner ruled that it was a suicide. It wasn't a murder. It wasn't a potential murder." So,
Right.
Yeah, but there's a problem with it, a major problem with it. But
yeah,
anyway,
he had dirt on the Clintons. That's the problem.
Yeah, that too. Anyway, the only thing I could figure out from that F4 ball designation is, and it took a while to find this, is it means it's NATO spec.
Oh.
That's all it is. It's NATO spec for basically for snipers.
Right.
It took a while to find that one.
So it's like quadruple fine. It's like steel wool.
So instead of just saying 762 by 51 NATO, they put 762 F4.
Yeah, F4. Yeah, that's Australia's designation for NATO approved, and they say it's actually stamped on the casing.
It'll have like the NATO cross on it.
Or the X, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the little circle with the circle crosshair thing.
Yeah. Moo says he's still dead, right? Well, we don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe.
At this point, I don't. Maybe. I mean, you could. If somebody could say, if somebody came in, 2 people came out tomorrow and said he killed himself, or if people came out and said he killed himself, he was killed, or he was switched out and he's still alive. I don't really know which one to believe at this point.
Well, it's very simple. They sucked his brain out through his nose, and it's living in a jar next to Walt Disney's head.
There you go.
Williams.
Yep, there you go. That's it right there.
Yep. Yeah, obnoxious. That with a fully loaded magazine of 180 grain bullets, and then what did I have on here? My Valkyrie PL2.
Oh, you put
This
a light.
Yeah,
You put the light on it too.
I put a lead on it. It comes out to exactly 3 pounds for this pistol.
Oh, mine was 3 pounds just loaded. It was 48.3 ounces.
It was 47.
Oh, was it 47? Sorry.
You came up
I don't know.
just shy.
It's a cheap Walmart scale. I don't expect it to be ISO 6700 or approved or calibrated. But yes, it is probably the most pleasant shooting 40 I own, and I own a fair amount of them.
I should take that and the Beretta 92 out and see which one is, because that Beretta 92 has no recoil either.
What barrel does that CHP have? Is that a 4-inch barrel?
Yeah.
Yeah. It has this barrel. It's got a little bulb on the end.
Mm-hmm.
Which is actually a little different than the 59 series I have, because they kind of have like a triple cone kind of thing going on. Because it'll be the regular barrel, but then it'll like taper down a little bit to like a little bit of a wasp waist, and then back up and then back down again. I think part of it's like they're thinking is the least amount of contact or least amount of barrel in contact with the bushing makes it a little better. And then I think it's also for disassembly, because you got to kind of, for how it pulls down and out. But
why do they do that with AR barrels? Why do AR barrels start thick and then get thin? Some of them thin and then get thick again. Why do they step them like that?
For weight savings, because you have to, part of it is, okay, you have to have a certain amount of metal around the chamber, because that is the highest, the most stressed area. So obviously you don't need something that's like 1.25 inches around all the way, unless you're building like a super heavy or precision barrel, or something you just want to shoot and not have it be affected as much by heat. But it steps down to save weight, and then it's got to step up for the gas block, because that's got to sit up against there, and then they'll either just keep it like that or they'll taper it down for like a super lightweight. But as for like the cutouts, to where it's like goes from like a pencil to the gas block, and then it's got like the little cutouts. Some of it's the cutouts for the grenade launcher, the like a regular M4 profile. And then some of the other of it was the perceived notion that the originals were like too light, so they needed to have it heavier on the end. And then there's also the urban legend of, oh, well, grunts were being stupid and put a bayonet on the end of it and were bending it because they were trying to pry shit open with it. You know, it's... more PR engines. Yeah, but it's mostly for weight and perceived rigidity.
Can you guys see this?
I can see it.
Sharing? Okay. Yeah, like, because you got the bird cage, and then it's, one size, and then it's got this little area that's only like 1 inch or something.
That's a cutout for an M203. That's where your grenade launcher hanger is attached to.
Oh, okay.
And the reason why they're on the civilian market is because, hey, we've already got, barrel manufacturers we've got a process down pat to make this particular profile barrel. Even if all it does is like 3 or 4 lines of code they need to take out, it's still more expensive than just going, hey, we got a demand, just run them. Just run this thing. Yeah, it's...
Okay.
Yeah, what are you blaming Obamacare for? Uh-oh. Midnight, you might be moving to Michigan soon.
It's fine. I don't give a shit. I'll move wherever.
What I miss?
Oh, no, I'm
just
looking out in the chat for apparently 2 live moves telling your wife to come to Michigan because they'll hire her in a heartbeat.
Apparently we're moving. I just found out 9 seconds ago.
Well, you'll finally get a day off.
Yeah, to move, and then I'll be 6 days again.
That's going to be a hell of a commute going all the way back to Pennsylvania every day to start cooking your hot dog sandwiches and your perfect burgers and your Monte Cristos that fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
Just deep fry them because we're gonna get one in November. We're gonna get a deep fried Monte Cristo.
Shit, that reminded me. When you guys came in, I wanted to make you that deep fried PB and J.
That's it. I'll see you tomorrow.
I forgot. I was going to do that for you. I totally forgot.
I'm heading out.
Now,
Be there
Sarge,
in 8 hours.
just remember that your reservation's under Mr. Peanut Butter and Fried Jelly.
There you go.
That was better than last time.
The Yankee Marshal.
I love the Yankee Marshal.
I just walked in. I don't know what the hostess's name is. I just walked in and looked at her. I said, "We've got a reservation for 4." I said, "Your chef's a funny guy."
You got a reservation for 4. I don't know who it's under.
I know. I just said, "And your chef's a funny guy." She just started laughing. She looked at it. She goes, "Party of 4 for I Love the Yankee Marshal." I said, "No, I don't, but yes, we are them."
Oh, there you go. Midnight. You can stay in Move's basement as long as you can kill crickets.
There you go. Can I use a shotgun?
I think you need to get Gary's little bug assault rifle.
I'm not gonna bitch out and use that thing. I want to use a real gun.
Get yourself a little Bond Arms. Put some 410 in it.
There you go.
No. You need to get yourself one of those little gun G-Webs mini revolvers and put it with 22 shot shells.
Food question, yo. Is a hot dog wrapped in pita bread still called a hot dog, or is it a hot dog pita?
No, it's a hot dog wrap because you wrapped it.
Oh, Moose says 10 gauge. Yeah, okay. I'll take it.
Actually, let me rephrase that. It's not. It's a sad and poorly made pig in a blanket.
It's a Greek pig in a blanket. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And man.
I don't mean Sarge in his own branded Snuggies.
Yankee had when was Yankee on Thursday night, right? Thursday he's on. He started his show off with a bunch of cop hate right off the bat. Sarge, you probably missed that one.
No, I didn't see it.
Cop hate chat, yeah.
What was he?
Well, what question set him off to it?
They were talking about that Philadelphia, that standoff in Philly, where the guy was all holed up in the house. And
I remember that one.
Somebody brought it up, and he was saying like, "Oh yeah, him and Matt were just." And Matt doesn't like. I mean, he says he says he's okay with cops or whatever, but he I don't know. He rags on cops all the time too. And they said, yeah, they went in and they got ambushed in the house, in the kitchen of the house. And the guy came out and started shooting at him. And
it was a second floor kitchen.
Yeah, some of the cops went out the window, and some of them got trapped in there. And he was all wound up about it. He's like, well, what the hell were they even doing in the kitchen? Jesus, what would you? And I'm like, what do you mean? What?
They were serving a warrant.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, well, why would they even be in the kitchen?
They went in there to make some.
Yeah,
they went in there to make some hot dog sandwiches and pass them out to the guys as they were busting them.
Yeah, they walked
in and they looked. They said, "What is this room's primary use?" Oh, to cook food. Criminal would never be in here.
Well, it was a.
I just thought it was funny because it was just such a weird thing for him to grapple onto to try and make the cops look stupid. Like you don't know how else was set up.
In his 15 minutes of law enforcement experience, he knew better.
I just thought it was funny.
What he was mostly ragging on was this was Philadelphia again, right?
Yeah.
Was the mayor came out and said, well, our cops shouldn't have to face deadly assault weapons like the AR-15, that, being horribly political and the whole thing of, okay, you're cops, you're SWAT, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sarge, no one goes down to the to rando police stations and just picks someone up. Oh, you're SWAT team now. You're SWAT now. You're SWAT now. It's usually a volunteered or something you say, yeah, I'd like to be part of that.
Yes. So
you're taking on the extra danger kind of thing. I I know that's the one thing I kind of grabbed onto with.
Well, not to mention Philadelphia, they don't have their SWAT teams are designated. They don't do anything else but SWAT. That's all they do.
And it's just like they always come out and talk about, they got these AR-15s. The police are outgunned.
You have an MRAP and more body armor than he does.
Yeah. Do you have a rifle in your patrol car?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't North Hollywood. Times have changed. It's not the 90s.
I just think that probably people shouldn't have kitchens because obviously that was the troublesome part about
that. Was definitely the part that concerned everybody the most. Now, was it actually a kitchen or was it where he was cooking his meth?
Well, I don't know. All I heard was it was like a second floor kitchen, and they kept going back and forth of, well, was this like a single family residence? Was this like a house that was turned into an apartment?
Said it was multifamily.
Yeah.
So now, you as a law officer for so many years, you wouldn't have gone through the kitchen, right?
Never. You never go through the kitchen. You always go around at that point. If you had to go through the kitchen, it's best to go up like the gutter, going through the attic.
Even if there was valuable evidence, right?
Valuable evidence.
Now, was there a Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper in that kitchen?
That's true. That's true. Maybe that's what tripped him up.
Maybe he was in there frying up PB&Js.
Yeah.
That's why the cops were in the kitchen.
No, they heard the distinct sounds of somebody messing up a perfectly good Monte Cristo. And they're like, no, I'm sorry, sir, I draw the line here. We've got to go in and save that poor sandwich.
Mm.
I don't know.
Pink Panther's saying too many chances of donut distractions. Seriously, Pink?
Now, that didn't start off as a SWAT mission. I think SWAT got called in to come try to clean it up. But I think that just was detectives going to serve a narcotics warrant, which they're not all high level. Turns out that one was, but they're not all like up on the radar.
Yeah. I just go back and listen to that Thursday. It was at the beginning of the chat. It was one of the first things that came up, and I just was shaking my head. I was like, Jesus Christ, you hate. It's just like when you don't like somebody. You know what I mean? If you just generally don't like somebody for years, everything that person says, you're going to latch onto and be like, see, he's an asshole. See, he's an idiot.
He went in through the kitchen. What an asshole.
It was so funny that I laughed. I didn't get a chance to listen to the whole chat yet, but
I'm gonna venture to say that when he was in law enforcement, he got shown the door, and I think he's had a beef with him ever since. That's just a guess.
So you think Roll Call was in law enforcement with him?
I think Roll Call was just a little kid. He showed him the door, and
that was it. Maybe Roll Call's dad was the chief of police or something. He's like, Roll Call, little baby Roll Call, why don't you show this guy the door?
Show this guy the door.
I think he. What was I going to say? I think from what Yankee said was he tried being. It's not animal control. It's like whatever particular part of whatever department he was in did like animal cruelty calls or something like that. And he said, "No, I can't do this because I'm going to end up killing somebody pretty quickly."
Well, that's what he said. He said he didn't have the temperament for it. He just didn't like the work. He said he couldn't work with. I couldn't deal with
for animal control.
No, he was a cop.
It wasn't.
Well, is that what you're saying? Because some places they're sworn, some places they're not.
I don't know. This was a couple years ago. It was.
Yeah.
Where was it at?
West Virginia, I think. I think it was when he was living in there. I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know. Did he go back to West Virginia after he got out of the service, or?
Oh, that's true. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. He's lived a lot of places, I think.
Yeah.
Pink says he was a sheriff's deputy. I don't know. I never knew that. I just didn't know that. I didn't know that if you ever had to go into somebody's house as a cop, like that you weren't supposed to. I mean, it was more dangerous in the kitchen than anywhere else. I didn't know that. Now I do. Now I do.
No, there's all those pokey and bashy and burny things in the kitchen.
There is some Bernie stuff in there, yeah.
I'm sure that's what they were worried about when they're hearing the crack of an AR go off inside an enclosed structure.
Kitchens and bedrooms, and especially hallways.
Yeah, always.
Hallways are absolute no-nos.
Because anybody can shoot down a hallway, and if you're taking up the whole hallway, you're in trouble.
There's nowhere for the bullet to go except for in you, right?
Well,
boys
just
and
saying.
girls, vests are bullet resistant, not bulletproof.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Same with the shields.
And they're not going to do anything with that 223 round or 5.56. They're not going to do anything with it. It's going in one side and out the other. And hopefully it doesn't get too big on the way through.
At least in the kitchen, you could hide inside the fridge, maybe.
No,
maybe
you'd have to hide
maybe
behind
you just
it.
walk the fridge down the hallway in front of you. Use that as walking cover. Like it.
Donate, just donate for the puppies. You'll put the clothes back on. Pink, what kind of erotic fan fiction are you writing in this chat here?
And he's getting all hot and bothered by it.
Somebody was talking about strip super chats today, and that's what it was.
Oh, Pink says for $20 he'll dress up as a cop again. For another $20 he'll take off the cop outfit. Pink, I think he ripped you off because he did both of those for $20. For one set of $20. No, he has. Punky Brewster taught you.
Has Punky Brewster taught you? What were you supposed to?
Who's Punky?
What were you supposed to? You don't know who Punky Brewster is? Punky Brewster,
Punk, but
no, Punky Brewster was a kids show back in the late '80s, early '90s ish, late '80s, I guess. She was adopted. She was like an orphan or something, and it was adopted by a creepy. No, I don't want to say creepy. I was just about to say she was adopted by creepy Joe Biden because it was like an old white guy.
Oh, jeez.
So like different strokes, but only one.
Yeah.
No, Pink clarified. He said
never
the
hide
second
in the
20
fridge.
was a tip.
Yeah,
That's because the old fridges
name in
had
different
latches.
strokes.
Huh?
What was the dad's name in different strokes?
It wasn't Mr. Weber. It was.
I hadn't thought about that show in years, and now I can picture the guy.
Yeah.
And how square he was.
Well, okay,
squares
the guy
in shape or squares and uptight.
Uptight.
Okay.
Well, I think that was kind of the dynamic they were going for.
Of course.
I think the dad from Punky Brewster was actually the
Drummond.
commandant. Was actually the commandant in Police Academy too.
That's it. Oh, really?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, the goofy one that was always confused.
Yeah. I think he was the dad in Punky Brewster too.
He may have been. And like you were saying about the stereotypes, that was the thing about the 80s and the 70s. All the sitcoms had all the stereotypes, and everybody was okay with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the greatest shows on earth, Sanford and Son. Everybody was stereotyped in that show. Everybody. My favorite character are the white guys, the white cop. That is the squarest dude ever. It is my favorite.
But he never got caught in the kitchen, did he?
Nope. No one ever went into the kitchen. They only went in the living room.
I think the living room was about the only place you could go in that house.
Come on, you big dummy.
No one ever went in the kitchen. Well, I guess actually they may have gone in the kitchen to use like the phone or something, but that was it.
Yeah.
Compared to
I'm
All in the
watching
Family,
all
where
this.
everyone went into the kitchen.
She brought up Punky Brewster because you never hide in the fridge. That's like back in the day when the fridges had latches on them. They'd latch you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was even
a
a
latch.
You know, if you go into the walk-in freezer in a restaurant now too. I mean, I don't know when they changed this, but there's actually a mechanism inside. It's got like this knob, and you know how they have this inside the trunk of new cars too, where if you get locked in the trunk, you can pull
it's
it.
got that little pull cord.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Like if somebody locks the freezer and puts you in it, it's got a little knob that you turn it and turn it and turn it. And eventually it'll turn all the way out and it just drops the lock out and you can push the cooler freezer door open so you don't get locked in the freezer.
Oh, yeah, I remember that from, I think it might have been like the actual very first episode of Dragnet, the colorized version, not the one where it was just the one with Jack Webb and Harry Morgan. I think that was like part of their public service announcements during the course of the show.
She said, I always thought reality TV would have a backlash of sitcoms like that. Guess I was wrong. What do you mean, like reality TV would have shows like that now where they were like super stereotype? You can't get away with anything.
Most reality shows, it's, you just need some hot girls. You need someone that, one or two people that people can absolutely think are bitches and hate, and that's all you need.
Well, I mean, back when reality TV started, I mean, it was kind of like that. You'd have, when you think about like when the Real World and that shit started, they'd try and have a little bit of everything. They'd have like the poor white chick and the black guy and the gay dude and the rich
first reality TV show.
Huh?
Real World.
Yeah, it's pretty far back. You know what I mean?
I guess it might be.
Not. There's a show that came. There was a show, and it was basically like, it was like the first time they ever did something like a reality show, and it was back in the 70s, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was like they had they basically set cameras up to show this family's life, basically. And they did it, and nobody liked it, I guess, and it just kind of faded away. And then years and years later, they started reality TV, sort of took off and became like this huge thing. Can't remember what it was called, though. Some.
See, Mia says decades later, we're still watching reality TV shows like, shows like Leave It to Beaver.
An American Family.
Yeah, I think so.
1971.
Yeah, it was. I knew it was in the 70s. An American Family is an American television documentary filmed from May 30th through December 31st, 71, and first aired in the U.S. on PBS on January 11th, 73.
Okay, well, there's a couple things in that sentence that tells you why no one liked it. Documentary, PBS. And
right.
PBS would do, when they said documentary, it was a documentary. It wasn't, documentary, let's see what kind of wacky shenanigans and crazy drama these people get up to next. Sounds kind of like the Truman Show. Yeah, kind of. Except they probably knew there were actual cameras there. Remote control on MTV.
George set up his Instagram. Now look up South Texas AR guy. All right, hit me up. Follow me, George.
Mia saying decades later we're still watching reality TV. No shows like Leave It to Beaver or Different Strokes anymore.
Live Moose says, remember Puck? That guy was such an asshole.
Downtown Julie Brown.
Such a nasty dude.
Yeah, no, I never watched any of the reality stuff.
That was huge. It was such a big deal back then. That was.
Yeah. I didn't really take notice of it until it started invading everything like Discovery Channel or the History Channel, where we went from, dirty jobs with Mike Rowe to shit like Amish Mafia.
Different Strokes had the gooch. Pauly Shore. I'll tell you what, talking about reality, somebody last week had mentioned, I don't know if it was on a chat or not, or if it was in a video or something I saw. They mentioned, September 11th is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sparked, I don't know, just sort of brought a memory back of something I'd watched years and years ago. And it was a video of, I'll have to pull it up here. I'll pull it up and put a link in there. in the chat. It was a. Oh, hold on. There we go. It was a video that somebody did of the the Howard Stern show on September 11th, when it was all going on. Really interesting to watch. It's just so kind of real, you know what I mean? Like, they're seeing it happen for the first time, and they're obviously in New York. Let me find it here. Uh-oh. And what's so crazy about it is they actually, I mean, a lot of those guys, that's not the one I watched. I'm trying to find the one I watched. There it is.
You're looking your history on YouTube?
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't see. I had saved it.
Save to watch later, and it's the bottom of like 50,000 other things you're gonna watch later.
Well, no, and not saved to watch. It was just I don't know why. I saved it to a playlist, but it's not there. Here it is. Here. Okay, there it is in the chat. So, and it's pretty long. I mean, it's a couple hours long. It's over 2 hours, but I just listened to it while I was doing stuff at work, doing some prep. And it's crazy because, they're just doing the regular show and whatever. And somebody comes in and they're like, hey, you got to take a look at the news. And it was right after the first plane hit. And it just really is amazing because, they're learning it as it's happening. And then because of so many people that they talk to, they deal with, I think it was Crazy Cabby had called into the show, and he was in Brooklyn, and he was like, they're talking to people that are actually watching it happen and it unfold, and just a lot of emotions, and it's pretty awesome to listen to. It's pretty amazing. I don't say awesome in a good way, obviously, but awesome like, it's sucks you in.
You're getting to witness people experience an event.
Yeah. And it's crazy because at one point, the second plane had hit, and they were talking, and the Pentagon had been hit, and they were talking about another plane that they thought was hijacked, which ended up being the one that went down in Somerset. But right around the time, I believe it was right around the time when they said they think there's another plane that's gone rogue or whatever. You heard these fighter jets fly over top of Cabby when he's on the phone with Howard. And they're like, what was that? And he's like, oh, jets just flew over my head. And it was just kind of like this. It's this sort of eerie feeling because we'll never know whether that plane was shot down or whether it went down, right? I'm not trying to get into a conspiracy theory, talk here or whatnot, but knowing what we know now, like, to hear those planes go over his head live, those jets, fighter jets, and to know what happened with the plane, it was pretty eerie. It was an odd feeling. Yeah, go save that video, watch it later. You're doing something at the house, or you need to kill some time or something. It's like I say, it's about 2 hours long, but once you start watching it, you'll want to watch it. You'll want to listen to it or whatever the whole way through. They started.
About 20 minutes in is where you want to start, because otherwise it's just like, oh, this is what happened there's like maybe a minute or so of the person who put the video together saying some stuff. What's
crazy is that at the towards the beginning of that video, they showed one of the local New York news channels talking about just like, oh, today is it's September 11th, and how's everybody doing? And just the normal banter that like a newscaster says at the beginning of their broadcast or whatever. And they're like, oh, it's a nice sunny day, or it's it's a bright day, it's blue skies in New York today. It's very quiet. And he goes, it's almost too quiet, or something like that. He says, and it's like, man, that you know what I mean? Like just seeing somebody say that on that day is just gives you goosebumps almost. It's almost
it's
amazing.
I don't know. It's just banter because that's the whole thing. Like, oh, it's quiet. Oh yeah, it's almost too quiet. Just being a personality on TV.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know, but I mean, you think about that guy, that whoever the dude that said that, he knows he said that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure somewhere along the line he was like, man, I can't believe I said that on that day. You know what I mean? Like, of all the days for me to say something like that, that's maybe he said it other times. I don't know. I just think about like if I would have said something like that on national news the day, literally like an hour before
20 minutes or
that
so.
happened. Yeah, like an hour before that happened, because it happened at 9 if it was, or it might have been earlier, who knows, whatever time. But like, obviously looking back on it, it's got to be a crazy feeling. Yeah.
So is Howard Stern still a thing?
Yeah. He's still, as far as I know, yeah. I mean,
no one really knows.
He went to.
Well, I know he's. Doesn't he have like his own? I know he had at one time his own like XM or Sirius channel because.
Oh yeah, that's what he did. He left public radio and then did that for years. I think he's still doing it. I know up until a couple of years ago he was. But I don't know about to this day.
I don't know. It's radio. You sit on your ass and you yak. It's kind of like what we do almost every Sunday night.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it's interesting. I remember when they first started showing video and or being able to watch video of the that was pretty crazy too, because they really started getting bananas then, because now all of a sudden people could see visually what's happening. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's got pretty rough.
Yeah, that was like what, E or Bravo or whatever had them on like late night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, E. Yep. I don't think Bravo was a thing when it first started. When he started.
I don't know. I'm just going off what I remember when we got extended cable. Well, we didn't like get extended cable as a cable company saying, "Hey, we're upping your basic what the basic package is, but now it comes with all this extra shit."
The wife, Mia, is saying he was on an international TV show. I thought. Are you talking about Howard Stern? No, it was his. It was just his regular. It was just a regular day. For that, it was like a. What was it? A Tuesday?
Are you talking about? Are you talking about now? No, I don't mean lately. I didn't.
Oh, yeah, he was on. He was on not X Factor. It's the one with. America's Got Talent, I think. Yeah, he was on that. I don't know if he still does his radio stuff or not.
Oh, speaking of America's Got Talent, because this is kind of an odd segue.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who, well, you got like your Amazon Music or your Spotify or whatever. You listen to certain stuff, and then it'll like compile kind of a separate little playlist or a station where it's like, oh, here, based upon what you listen to, here's a bunch of shit we'd like you to, or think you might be interested in. Let me see if I screen share Chrome tab. I want this one here. So if you can grab my screen share there. If any of you are interested, check out this guy, Puddle's Pity.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, it's
his cover when he did Chandelier. was amazing.
Yeah, actually, the first one that popped up for me was Pinball Prison, where he does Pinball Wizard by the Who, but it's to the tune of Folsom Prison Blues. And then he also does like the back other one where it's Folsom Prison Blues, but to the Pinball Wizard.
He's a big dude. He's like 6'5" or 6'6" or something.
I think
He's a
like,
big guy. Or he might even be taller than that. I don't know.
Like Gear, he is 6'8".
6'8".
Yeah,
Jeez.
so
Does he have a white dog?
Yeah, I know, right?
you should know about him. He's from Philly.
Oh, is he? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean he was born in 64, so that was like only a couple years after you were born.
When was he born?
He's the same age I am.
He was born. He was get out of the way there. He was born March 12th, 1964, age 55, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, he's got a good voice. He's got a kind of a deeper, like baritone-ish kind of voice.
Well, it's kind of an interesting range because he'll go from like some of the, not like the high falsettos or anything, but like a kind of, I don't know, you might consider like a tenor voice, or questioning whether whether the he is a she or a him, her, or her, him. And then he can also go like a fairly nice, rich baritone as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
he's got a lot of range.
He's got a good deep voice. Yeah, he if you go on to just Google, I think it's America's Got Talent.
Yeah,
or is it?
He
was it America's?
Yes, America's Got Talent. Let me go back to the wiki page here.
Yeah. And
in 2017, Gear as Puddles participated on the 12th season of the reality TV show America's Got Talent.
Mm-hmm.
He advanced to the quarterfinals at the Dolby Theater, where he performed his version of Royals and received an X from Simon Cowell. He was ultimately eliminated the following night. In 2017, made an appearance on Cartoon Network ad promoting the new episodes of Teen Titan Go and OK, something.
Yeah, his Royals. I remember watching his. I looked it up when I first learned about him or whatever. I looked a bunch of his stuff up. Royals was okay. Chandelier was great. He did a really good job with that. That's such a cool song too.
I was going to say The Sound of Silence, and then oddly enough, Dancing Queen, because he does like. Well, I think everyone knows ABBA, Dancing Queen. It's a really upbeat, happy, bright song, but he just kind of sucks the soul out of it, and it's quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, starting January 19, he has a residency act at Caesar's Palace in Vegas. That's pretty good.
I know what we could do during SHOT Show.
We can all go see Puddle's Pity Party at
Caesar's
Palace.
Cool. Just make sure you live stream it.
Oh yeah, that'll work out really well in Las Vegas.
They won't mind. I heard they don't really frown upon that.
Okay, then we're gonna haul your. Actually, since Snob's not in here to defend himself, I volunteer we have Snob do that.
There you go.
Uh-oh. I think Sarge is looking up booking right now. He's on his phone.
Who else going to Wanamaker in November?
I'm probably not.
I got the okay to go.
I can go if it costs me zero money and somebody can work for me. That's all.
So in other words, you just need to get the Department of Health to come down and shut it down for like a week or two.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's start up an Indiegogo.
Well, that's not going to help me get staff.
Sure it will. You can make one of the levels instead of dollars. Hey, you work for 8 hours on a day.
That's true, yeah. You can donate time. There you go. Instead of money.
You just put a friendly little reminder that, hey, even if you don't put down your address, I can still track your IP. And I know Sarge. 2 Live Moo. My parents said I was too dumb to go to college. By the way, I'm the only one of 3 who has a bachelor's degree. We go to Wanamaker, but it's during opening deer season. Well, would you rather sit up in a stand and freeze your butt off for an illiterate quadruped that has absolutely no concept of time or schedule, or go hang out with these crazy characters? Besides, with it being in November, that'd be excellent time to pick up a new deer gun, I'd say.
Hmm.
So I'm pretty sure that, I don't know, has anyone in here been to Wanamaker in November versus being there in April?
Nope. This last April was my first time ever.
Okay. Because I know the guys before said that, well, like this time it was all like M1 carbines and parts and stuff for that. It seemed like the most kind of prevalent stuff. That and a couple tables of auto mags.
Yes. Like all of them.
There was some cool guns at the show today. I saw a bunch of M1 Garands. There was a bunch of M1 carbines. Can't remember the prices of them. And then there was a guy that had a whole bunch of, not a bunch, but he had a rack of, old flintlocks or whatever. And there was one that was an 80 caliber. I can't remember what the hell it was.
Be like, was it an actual rifle or?
No, it was smooth bore.
Okay. Well, no, that could have been a musket too. Because, well, remember
it was a musket.
Because remember, like not the brown, was it the brown Bess? Like the first, like our first U.S. long arm, like Revolutionary War, wasn't that like a 72 or a 69 or a 79 caliber?
No, there's a 72 something. Yeah, this was 80. I don't remember. I wish I should have should have looked to see what it was. But on the same rack, on the other side of the rack, he had a a Harper's Ferry rifle that was like $4,200 or something. It was expensive. Oh, Harper's Ferry.
All right, guys.
Go ahead.
I'm a hop out.
Okay. See you, sleepyhead.
Got some stuff or things to plug?
Yeah, I got stuff and things, and fuck Instagram.
You're still in the timeout corner.
What did you get in timeout for, by the way? I never really heard this story. What happened?
Following too many people, I think.
I don't know. People at one sitting, or too many people
at one sitting? Yes, because they won't answer. They won't answer any of the reports or tell me how long I'm timed out, and when I should log back in and see their ads every other post, and so. We're on. Today is the start of day 14 right now.
Done.
So interesting.
Yep.
It's all that Hunan Muhammading you were doing.
Mm-hmm. I still don't. I still haven't gotten one single Hunan Muhammad. So I must be doing something wrong.
Well, I think it's all that Orange Man bad stuff, and they just look at yours and go, "Nah, fuck that guy."
Yeah, probably.
Not in a pleasant way.
Mm-hmm. But thanks for the invite.
See you, bud.
I'll see you guys later.
Later. Have a good night.
But there was I didn't really look at many handguns while I was there today. I had the little guy with. He's a little impatient. You know what I mean? He just wants to kind of go. So actually, like slowing down and stopping to look at stuff isn't really super possible. So we just kind of keep moving at a slow pace and check stuff out and whatever. But it seemed like there was a fair amount of older stuff there today. A lot of cool old shotguns and I don't know, a little bit of everything. A couple Tavors. I don't know. It's a pretty good one. It's you can see a little bit of just about anything there. Some of the other ones I've always heard that if you go to the one out in Allentown, PA, I think it's in Allentown. That one's that one's a lot older, a lot more older stuff. If that makes sense. A lot of military stuff, and I did see a bunch of Mosins and stuff like that today too.
Were the prices continuing to rise?
Yeah, they're not super cheap, that's for sure. Did see? Did I see? I did see something at a pretty decent price. You know what? I didn't notice any SKSs. Some AKs. I did see some AKs. A lot of AR stuff. There's always a lot of AR stuff.
Well, the market's been flooded with that for the last couple of years. Got to strike while the iron's forgeable.
Damn, what was it that I saw?
So, you saw a man who looked like a man who kind of looks like that other
I'll tell
man.
you what is pricey or like older lever actions, 30-30s and stuff like that. They're really jumping. They're really getting up there.
Now, we talking like old, like as in Winchester, or are we talking
Yeah.
old as in pre-Freedom Group Marlin?
Like Winchesters especially seem to be really high. Damn it! There was something that I saw that I was surprised it was a pretty decent price.
Was it pistol, shotgun, or other?
Other. I'll tell you what I saw a truckload of was Shockwaves and TAC 14s and stuff like that. Man, there was a ton of them.
They're fun guns to have.
Yeah,
I'm unmuted.
You should.
But anyway, Allentown Fairgrounds usually in the fall. A couple times they had it like either the week of, the week before, the week after the SHOT Show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they bring a lot of the older stuff out.
Yeah.
It's not real big, but it's a lot of flintlocks. You got a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, I've never been out there to that one. Black Cat goes to that one every once in a while, I believe.
I went to it a couple of times. I lived in Bethlehem.
My wife's giving me a hard time for saying a lot more older. I know that sounds weird. A lot. How would you say that? They have a larger amount of older firearms compared to newer firearms. How about that?
Yeah, they're a lot more older.
Yeah, they're a lot more older.
Yeah. There is a lot more older firearms. Yeah, it makes sense. May not be grammatically correct, but there's a higher percentage of antique firearms than new. There was a guy doing Kydex holsters there too, which I've never seen. He was making them on the spot, which is pretty cool. That was something different. I think what else was there that was different? One dude had a truckload of patches. That was pretty neat. Got a couple. That's all I bought was a couple of patches. I bought a patch for the wife. Little guy picked out a patch, and then I bought two for myself. I bought a Marine Corps patch and a skull patch that has stars and stripes on it. American flag colors to it. That's pretty cool. He got a Superman patch that's red, white, and blue. Stars and stripes. Pretty neat. All right. It's getting pretty late. We call it a night.
Pretty late. Holy, it's only 1 a.m. here.
It's almost 2:00 here.
Well, that's your
Yeah.
fault for living
doing
on the
the show?
left coast.
Yeah, it's only
That's
11
true.
here.
That's true. Where are you at again? You're at Glimtech, I forget. I thought you were on the East Coast.
Arizona. I used to live in the East Coast.
Oh shit! I forgot. That's right.
Used to live in PA.
Yeah, I knew you lived in PA. I thought you just moved down south somewhere.
Nope, I'm out in Arizona.
Okay. What's the weather like out there right now?
Hot.
Is
Hot.
it a dry heat?
No, right now we're in monsoon. So not only is it hot, it's also 35-40% humidity.
Man, it was hot as hell today, man. We were like the mid to upper 90s today.
Yeah. So for those that don't realize what that kind of equates to, because a lot of people say 30-40%, that's not bad. It equates to like Pennsylvania being 85-90 degrees with a 80% humidity. So now imagine that here at 115 with a 35-40% humidity. Then on Tuesday, my air conditioner took a dump.
Yeah.
And it was the hottest day on record where I'm at. And of course, the AC guy couldn't show up for the following day.
Mm-hmm. I can't see how G's dog is still alive. I can't believe he hasn't had to shave her down.
Yeah, because G's just south of me.
She must go through a ton of water.
That's funny because I have a Husky Malinois.
Oh yeah.
I have a female German Shepherd. Another mix of something, but he's long haired too, and it really doesn't bother them. Matter of fact, the one, he's black. He has black coat, really long hair, thick hair. He'll go out and lay outside, and he won't come in. I mean, he'll just plop himself down out there. It's 110 degrees out there in the sun, and he's just laying out there basking in the sun. It doesn't even faze him.
Just means you got a dumb dog.
Well, the funny part about it is that when you go and pet him, and you
burn your hand.
Well, yeah, on the outside, his outside. I mean, it's hot, and then as soon as you go under that first couple of coats, it's really, really cool under there. It's like, wow, this is weird.
I was watching a video the other day. It was funny, and it was two German shepherds, and they had a water bowl, like a small. It was their water bowl, but it was big, and probably, I don't know, probably 2 foot across, maybe a little longer than that, maybe 2.5 foot. And it was pretty full to the top. And there was this video of this one dog was sitting there drinking, and another one just like, without looking at the other dog, without doing anything, just pushed past that one, took 2 steps into the bowl and just laid down in it. Just curled up like into a C shape, and just the water all came out or whatnot. I was like, it was funny. He was just like, fuck this, man. He just like smashed himself down into there. It was funny. He's like, get out of the way. I need to get in here.
And this one's a screwball. He'll go over to the water bowl and he'll start digging into the water bowl, splashing trying to pull the water out. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
And then he'll go over, he'll pick up the food bowl, and it's a metal food bowl and pretty good size. And he'll pick that sucker up and he'll walk it across to the room, spill the food from one end of the house to the other, jump up in the hassock and spray it all over the place. I'm like, okay, and that was for what reason?
Yeah, what the hell are you doing, man? That's funny. Oh, no.
The only thing I got to give him is after he does that, between him and the other 4 dogs, they eat it all up. So I don't complain too much.
We used to take up when it was hot. We would just dump ice straight into the dog's bowl when we went up to camp and stuff. We just take a bag of ice up with us, and we just dump straight ice in there. Because we had a chocolate lab that stayed, that my grandpa had up there, and it was he only had it for a year, I think, or so. He had somebody he knew couldn't keep it for some reason, so he had it for a little while up at camp, and then somebody, sort of passed him along to somebody else. He was a good dog. We just couldn't take care of him like he needed to be, but it was a good place for him to chill during the time that he didn't have a home or whatever. So my grandpa took care of him. But we just go up there when we go up after school and stuff like that. We'd go up and ride 4-wheeler, do whatever we were doing and shooting or whatever. But during the summer, he loved it because we just dump like a whole bunch of ice into his big old water bowl, and he'd just sit there and crunch on it and chomp on it and throw them around and stuff. He loved it.
Yeah, 3 out of the 5 of mine will do the same thing. They'll take and chomp it and run around with it and kick it across the floor and run after it. And it's like, okay.
So, all right, let's. You got anything to plug? Anything to say? Anything you need to talk about before we go? Climtech, you're up first. Anything?
Oh no. Thanks for the invite.
Oh, no problem.
It's been real and it's been fun as usual.
Yeah.
I actually didn't take a nosedive as quick tonight for a change.
Yeah. No, it's late. I know it's hard. I mean, and that's where this is one show where having a larger panel is usually really helpful because it's late at night and people get tired, and I understand that, and that's where I'm hoping that Night Strike gets everything fired up and running so we can have some larger panels because it gives us a better chance to have conversations kind of keep rolling.
Oh yeah, agreed. Yeah.
People are getting kind of wiped. They get kind of wiped out. And you need a couple more. You need a couple more bodies in the chat.
You need a lot more loud and opinionated assholes.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
I say obnoxious is like a dead.
What's that?
I don't want to clone him.
Yeah, we don't need obnoxious 2, obnoxious 3, obnoxious 4.
Obnoxious
we don't need
obnoxious 1.
Obnoxious Sunan.
Yeah. Yeah. Sarge, how about you? What's going on?
Going back to work tomorrow night. Well, tonight now. School starts tomorrow for everybody else, and got a few ideas for some videos, and that's about it. I get back out to the range maybe in the morning, definitely Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say school's
I
only?
appreciate the invite. It was a good chat tonight.
Thank you.
Did you say school's only starting in your area?
Yeah, it starts tomorrow. Today.
Shit. Wow. These guys have been in school for 3 weeks already.
Oh my gosh.
Different when you're living out in the desert.
So glad I don't have to do school anymore.
There was another one too. I was talking about it in the pre-chat a little bit, and I didn't really want to get into it and get another strike. But Coleon was on, did an interview with TMZ the other day, and watched that. It's not super long. He was a guest on their show, their live show or whatever, and they hammered on him pretty bad. He took it, and did the best he can, I guess. But it would be an interesting thing for you to watch too. Go on to YouTube and search it. I think it's interesting, and it's also, I think, important to watch these interviews because they show how relentless that some of the interviewers can be towards pro gunners, pro gun people, pro Second Amendment people, and it just shows, just like sometimes we play devil's advocate and try and anticipate questions or interviews or whatever. It's tough, man. It's tough. Um, and they're like, well, why do you need an AR-15 like that? What do you need that for? Like, that's such a hard question. I don't, you can, you're trying to answer that question to somebody that, number one, doesn't like them. Number two, doesn't think you need them. And number three, thinks you're full of shit for any reason that you give them. So it's tough. But I would look it up and watch it. It's
He had one on HBO with Bill Maher too.
Yeah, that was a while ago. This one I think was very recent though. I think this one just happened.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, the TMZ one is only, I think, last few days ago, last week, week before.
George says, "Because I can," is what I would say. Yeah, I mean, I think I'll tell you what though. I think the days of just saying, "Well, the Second Amendment says that I can have one," the days of that being quote unquote good enough for people is fading. And they don't want to believe that you'll ever fight the government, and be able to stand up to a government as a citizen. It's tough. I don't know. So watch it, search it out, and watch it. I think it's interesting to look up. So I will actually look it up, and I'll throw a link out there while Ape is doing his
closing monologue.
His outro and his
monologue. Oh, that's much nicer than what I've been calling it. But all right. So, shameless self-promotions aside, ladies, gentlemen, and Jonas of all ages, thank you for watching Midnight Range TM's The Closer. Be sure to check out gunchannels.com for more Pro 2A content. Gunchannels.com is a community focused on firearms, built for shooters by shooters for conversations kind of like this. This concludes our regularly scheduled programming, but we'll be back at 9 a.m. Eastern with the early watch, followed by open lobbies throughout the day. Gunchannels.com Monday night programming. At 5 p.m. Eastern, it's Hasty Headlines with Never Enough Ammo. 7 p.m. Eastern, it's the Polite Society podcast on Facebook. 7 p.m. Eastern, it's Clovertax MOA Monday only on Instagram, and Hawaii Volcano Squad's Locked and Loaded on YouTube. 9 p.m. Eastern, it's Never Enough Ammo, aka Mr. Matt's Guns and Geek podcast, The Week in Geek. 10 p.m. every other week, it's Intentionally Left Blank, and every weeknight at midnight Eastern, it's The Daily Gun Show. Also, check out GunTube.org as a free and unrestricted Pro 2A video platform. If you like what you see, go over to Patreon and give them a couple of dollars. If you want to see them thrive and survive and have more than 6 people on this little duck pond here, go over to Indiegogo and let's get GunTube Chamber fully loaded. For unique and cool 2A swag, like most of the patches you see on this panel, go over to gearwebsites.com. And remember, a hot dog is a sandwich, Slim Jim is candy, and keep your guns hurled and your chambers loaded.
Okay, I just found it.
I went through all that and it took you that long.
Did you actually write that shit down, or do you have that to just go off the cuff?
I got at least the schedule stuff written. I've got the schedule stuff written down because that changes every once in a while.
Okay, I was gonna say, because you were actually almost gonna seriously impress me there for a minute.
Well, no, I've done this enough times to where I've got the ladies, gentlemen, and Jonases of all ages. Thank you for watching Midnight Range TM's The Closer. Please go check out gunchannel.com for more Pro 2A content. But no, the hot dog is a sandwich, Slim Jim is candy, and never eat fudge from a place called Uranus all were things that happened on this show.
Yeah.
Pink says, "Remember, bologna is just a hot dog, just hot dog pancakes." Yep.
There you go.
Hashtag not wrong.
Pancakes are light and
sliced,
fluffy.
and sliced turkey inside of a hot dog bun is not a turkey hot dog.
It's a poor man's sub sandwich.
That's true.
It's a turkey dog.
Made them. It made it was a sandwich.
What's
It's
that?
a midnight sandwich.
Well, you flipped it and made them. It made it was a sandwich that brought in all the non-believers.
Shun the non-believers.
You're like,
Shun
hey, wait a minute.
this
Yep,
turkey.
it was like I had an epiphany. The clouds opened up, and a beam of light shone down upon my turkey sandwich.
Midnight, that was actually the paramedics checking for iris response after you tripped and fell on your non-skid mat again.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Ended up under the fryer, did the splits.
Yeah.
I did the splits and I burned my biscuits.
Inside the mixer. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Excuse me, sir. My turkey dog has a bit of a mohawk in it.
Yeah. So that I did throw out a YouTube link, and that should take you to that TMZ. It's TMZ Live with it's like 12 minutes, not that long. So if you're looking for something, click it, save it, watch it later, whatever. It's pretty. They're pretty heated towards each other a little
Vocal.
bit. Yeah. So it's an interesting watch. So go check that out. Otherwise, go see Night Strike, GunTube on Indiegogo. Help old Night Strike out there. He's got a good idea. He's got good things going. Just needs a little bit of help. Go over there and throw a little bit of money at him. It's going to a good cause. It not only is helping out another platform, but it's giving us the ability to have a larger panel and hopefully have the ability to have a
have a little place of our own independent of YouTube.
Well, also too, to have a place we do our live stream from, but also have somebody that we can give a call, shoot an email to if we have questions or issues, and not have to people are talking about Sarge not getting freaking monetized and Obnoxious being on timeout here on Instagram. They don't know why. There's no good reason why. So what's nice about guntube.org or one of the nice things about guntube.org is the fact that we can just call Night Strike up and be like, hey, butthole, my shit's acting off, and fix it. Right? Hey, you jerk, get over there and fix it.
Like, hey, I understand you might not find my blue dress holsters funny, but why'd you pull the video?
Right.
Okay, so hang on a second. Let me get this straight. They monetized Snob, but they didn't monetize Sarge.
That's true.
How? No.
After 357 days, I finally got an answer, and they said no.
Yeah.
It's simple. They had a certain quota of deplorables that were under the letter S.
That's it.
So, Snob made the cut, Sarge didn't, and I think it's because Sarge has an A after S. Because they're never going to pick, the first name. They're going to, pull up all the S's and just give the scroll wheel a flick, and there you go.
Were you, by any chance, trying to get in through the kitchen?
I think the bigger question is, did you eat the apple fritter that was sitting on the lunch table that said "do not eat"?
That's why they got me.
Yeah, that's probably it.
It's just like every time you go into an interview and they put you in the waiting room next to a button that says "do not press."
Oh yeah, you're gonna press the shit out of that button.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be pounding the hell out of that thing. That's for sure. So
they never gave you a reason, huh?
Not yet. I sent him an email and told him that was unacceptable, that I have followed every policy and guideline and that the least they could do is give me a
A valid
reason
answer.
as to why, so I can fix it.
Well, they don't want to give you a reason why. They want to keep it vague.
You're,
Oh,
you're
that's
good.
okay.
You're good channel. That's it. That's all you need to know.
Yes, this is another nice thing about us then having Night Strike held for accountable. Some of us know where he lives.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we can just walk up to Google and say, "Hey, where's YouTube? I need to kick
No.
his ass."
I need to speak with Martin from YouTube. That's who's been responding to me.
Right.
Use the term revert. Sorry for the late revert. What? In
like
several emails.
Excuse me, sir, can you tell me which coal farm in Calcutta this guy is from? I need to kick his ass.
Yes.
Martin Hunan.
Probably not wrong.
Martin Hunan Kabbalah.
Probably not wrong. So I asked to speak with his supervisor and to I put a very nice but strong email that no, I was not accepting this, and that at least tell me why. Give me this the service of telling me why so I can fix it, and I haven't got a response yet. Of course, that was on Friday, I think, is when I sent that. So
Is that going to be like anything like, thank you for calling YouTube. My name is...
Yeah, my name is Martin.
My name is Martin. My name is Bob.
Yeah, Bob.
My name is Bob. That's not... I'm sorry, that's Microsoft. I don't know how many times I've gotten that one. Thank you for calling Microsoft. My name is Bob.
Too. I've talked to him. I've dealt with Amazon a couple times, and I've called, and it's like, holy shit, I can't understand anything.
Hello, my name is Bob. No.
What's crazy is
your
when
name
you
is
call
gonna
it-
get in.
What's tough is a lot of times too, they're not understanding you with your issue either. They're not really grasping what you're telling them too because of the language barrier, and that's even more frustrating, I think.
When I come across that,
the
first thing I say to them is, before we go any further, I need to speak to somebody that understands English.
Yeah.
Usually they will. Usually they'll find somebody.
Yeah, that speaks it as a native language, so we don't have a miscommunication.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. Go find the two guys there that can understand what I'm telling you right now. But so go check out GunTube, help them out. I think it'll be it's not just honestly, it's not just helping out Night Strike. It's helping us all out. So it's a good one.
Moo, what has Kinky promised you for you to get you to say that?
Oh, what did he write?
Kinky Sphincter, the best name on YouTube. Yes, I'm saying it, you sons of bitches.
He's got Moo. Kinky's got some dirt on Moo. He must have dirt on Moo.
Yeah, but it's not like the Clinton level stuff to where maybe Moo did have some Clinton level stuff on Kinky and got suicided.
Oh, never mind.
Now Kinky's just taking over his account.
All right, let's call it a night. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.
Shall not be infringed.
See you.
Yeah.
I'll see you next time.
Have a good night. Ciao.
Night night. Now remember to click the button.